DJ in the house. What's up?
All I heard was.
There's carpet in there. We can watch you and Nick roll around for a minute.
You just made fun of your shadow side. Fire! Kill him! I know. Oh man. Woo! Everything look good? The boys look good?
How close?
Hi, everyone.
Easy good.
He needs another one.
No, I'm good. I gotta make sure I keep
you have to
Oh,
crack
you got
out the opening.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Oh yeah, you gotta start with the cracky.
We gotta crack them.
You're gonna try to keep composure? Have you watched this podcast before?
I have. You guys
listen
have
up.
that fun? I'll just put this one.
You're good. It's fine. Just leave it.
Oh, fuck.
Is there a black?
You're off to the races.
I'm like 30 of it. I'm like, ah,
There we
That's what we do.
I wish I had 10
three
dudes, right?
in.
I'm like,
Yeah,
He's
do it.
3 in, he's just wrecked.
okay.
Okay, since I did this wrong. 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
It begins. Cody!
Welcome to the Unsubscribed Podcast. I am joined today by Mr. Eli Double Fat, Fat Electrician, Demetrious Johnson,
Fat Electrician.
Brandon Herrera, and myself, Donut Operator. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are all here for you.
Hey, we're excited. Oh my God, we got a fucking DJ in the house. What's up?
You said he wants to grapple me? He wants to fucking grapple. That guy will grapple.
He's just instigating the entire time.
I got him.
We were all joking. We were gonna like piss you off during this podcast. The next one we just start. All of us have fucking black eyes. Like so, something kind of uncool happened yesterday. I like my orbital intact. It's all good.
Yeah.
We film one tomorrow after range day. It's just his hands that are wrapped up. All of our faces are fucked up.
Fucking get. That's what they get.
My man, how are you doing? It is so exciting and an honor for all of us to have you here. It was crazy when we were at and you called Cody. We're like,
Bleep
what?
that, Chase.
Oh, yeah.
But you called Cody, and then we were just like, Cody's like, what do I do? I was like, answer it. I said, answer it. What do I say? I don't know.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's awesome to be here. The room looks absolutely amazing. Huge anime fan. I see all the stuff on the wall, and obviously I've been following Cody for a very, very long time, and it seems like you guys have a good thing going on here, so I'm happy to be here, man.
Hell yeah.
You walk in the door 3 minutes in, you're talking with Eli about anime. I'm like, oh, he'll fit in just fine.
Everything's okay.
And 1 minute after that, you're talking about that dude getting shot in the back of the head. Yeah. I was like, he's one of us.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I was texting my girl like as soon as I saw all that go down. Like we're like 5 minutes in. I'm like, oh yeah, instant homie. This is gonna, it's gonna be all right.
Lifelong friend. How was travel? It was delayed. I know it's been sucky. Did you
Travel was good. You know, I've been traveling a lot lately. This has been a long time since me and my father-in-law got an opportunity to travel together. Last time we traveled together was just me and him, so I went to Montreal and fought. That was like in 2016. So it was good. Not an easy flight here in Texas. The weather's amazing. Nice and hot. I love it. And happy to be here, man.
God damn. First off, dude, he's my age and I hate it. He looks like he's fucking. You're aging so good. I'm like,
Black don't crack, baby. Black don't crack. It stays nice and oiled up. I have a nice skin routine every night I do, and underneath the eyes and circles, clockwise, counterclockwise. It works out good for me, man.
see, and then you have Cody. Cody, what happened earlier today at a gas station?
We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
no.
Brandon doesn't know this story.
All right, so myself and Nick, Fat Electrician here.
Oh, is this that story?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God.
go into a gas station, and the lady at the counter at the gas station says, "Are you father and son?"
No, that's not the order of events.
So me and Nick are looking at each other,
No.
and we're like,
She ID'd you first.
she did ID.
Because you bought White Claws. So she
Yeah.
ID'd you and then she asked that question.
Yeah, and so me and Nick and I are looking at each other, and we're like, which one's the father and which one's the son?
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure it out. And so Nick, we leave, and we're still just perplexed by this entire thing.
Walk back in.
No. We get back here, and we're still just wondering what the fuck happened. And so Nick calls the gas station and he fucking asked the lady, which one do you think was the father?
And she says, the one with the beard.
Oh, you know
Thank
that?
you.
Like,
And then the one that handed me the ID. Be like, why did you ID him
If you thought I was your kid, you're not old enough to buy booze.
This is also San Antonio, where the normal age of a father is about 14. So
well, there you go. fucking hilarious.
But no, yeah, on the phone with you, she was like, yeah, the one that handed me the ID. So I'm the father. So this is my new son. I don't know if you knew that Nick is my son now.
He's 16.
Well, it's like, this is my
I am 12.
17-year-old son. You're a giant beside me. They're just like, yeah, that's got to be your son. It's got to be your son.
Crazy.
Has it ever occurred to you that with her career path, she may not be great at math or critical thinking?
That is a spot on assessment. Yeah. I think it's very spot on.
We were talking about that. It's the people that don't, they can't visualize things. You know, it's like, hey, picture
Blind
an apple.
people?
Put two together, right? It's like obviously.
Jesus.
Hawaiian people?
Yeah.
Yes, Hawaiian
Blind.
people.
Oh, I was like, man, that was racist. I was like, Hawaiian people? What's that have to do with it?
You're talking about like the
Said blind
NPCs?
people.
Yeah, NPCs where they can't visualize an apple, or you say spin it in your head, and people, it's like
Yeah.
60% of the populace cannot do that, which is fucking terrifying.
It's like my whole theory, which I'm sure you can vouch to this because of being in an airport all day. People, I wanted to tweet this during the campaign, I just couldn't. I was that close to doing it. I'm like, no, that won't age well. I'm like, dude, people who walk around the airport with their mouths open don't go to heaven. You can't tell me there's no soul. There is no light behind that eyes. It's just
like cyclists, dude. Cyclists don't go to heaven.
and people
if
that
you-
mouth breathe.
Yeah,
journalists.
Journalists, cyclists. If you ride your bike in the fucking middle of the road, you don't go to heaven.
I always love
We'll
that.
test that
You
theory.
see them, they ride their bike, and I was like, oh, you gotta make way for me. I was like, motherfucker, there's a sidewalk. Get on it. No, that's for pedestrians to walk. Man, they're not there right now. You ride your bike. That pisses me off. And it's like, oh, you got hit. Where was he at? He was in the middle of the road. Where's you in the middle of the fucking road? That's for cars.
I don't want
get
you
started on that.
15 mile an hour in a 45 and you're just holding up traffic, especially a line of them.
The difference in speed between a pedestrian jogging and a cyclist is very much. It's a closer gap than you and someone on the fucking highway going 70 miles.
There's
an hour.
also way less consequences if they collide.
Yeah.
Way less consequences.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Dude, okay. Fighter, obviously. You've been doing
What?
it a majority. I know.
I just
it's
thought he was a
crazy.
fucking cool gamer guy.
Yeah, he's like, Cody's like, I thought he was a Twitch streamer.
He just wanted to play Tarkov with me. What the fuck?
Eli's like, Cody, look at the ears.
Cody, don't with him. Cody's like, what's wrong with his ears? No, so you've been fighting a majority of your life. You got into it when you were extremely young. How, like, you started at
18.
18? So actually not, way,
Yeah, wow.
actually, fucking Christ, dude. What did you do before that?
Wrestling? I wrestled in high school.
Okay, so still fighting.
Wrestling was like my infancy into mixed martial arts. And then once I got after I graduated from high school, I realized there's nothing left to do in sports because, when you wrestle, you go to college, you go to, D1, NCAA, whatever it is, or Division I, there is no monetization out of that, right? There's no monetary gain in it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to work full time. And then I came home one break from college, and I was at home with my buddy, and I was like, oh man, I had the Ultimate Fighter on it. And the guys were working out, and I was like, man, it looks fucking dope. I bet you I could do that. Went to the gym, started hitting the bag, and some guy goes, hey man, you want to know how to fight? And I was like, sure. He goes, can you fight? I was like, well, I mean, I've been watching some Jaw Clap Van Damme movies. I know how to kick. Motherfucker, that's about it. I started taking classes, and that was it, man. Just jumped into it, joined the gym, didn't know anybody there, and yeah.
When you were doing wrestling in high school, did you start in middle school or high school?
Middle school.
And then okay. So
8th grade, yeah. 8th grade, and then went to high school and wrestled from a freshman to senior. But I did football, basketball, not fucking baseball. Baseball lovers here, you guys are good?
No,
Okay,
it's fun.
So I want to make sure now.
we don't watch. I'm not a sports guy.
Football,
fighting.
Yeah, football, basketball, track, cross country, and wrestling. And then I did all those sports throughout my whole entire
Fucking athlete.
education career. And then then once I got out of high school, I was like, I'm gonna try fighting, and then it just took off from there.
Damn. And then you went into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, or was it just like an MMA?
It was just an MMA gym. Like I just literally walked in there and I started training, didn't know anybody, didn't even know who the coaches were. And then next thing you know, I'm fighting. And somebody goes, you know who your coach is? I was like, nah, Matt Hume, yeah. And I was like, no, he's a fucking godfather in MMA. Like he brought like mixed martial arts here to Seattle. Like that's the fucking bomb. And I was like, oh, okay, it is what it is. and I kept on training. But like for me, fighting was like an escape from like that 9-to-5 rat race, right? Because I worked at Journey's, Red Lobster. That's where I met my wife, Red Lobster. I've hung gutters with this man before. I worked at a construction facility. I've worked construction, so I've worked all those jobs. And when you go to work 7 to 3 or 9 to 5, it's like you get off work. What do you want to do afterwards, right? For me, it was just working out and training, and it was kind of like my release from work, and I loved it.
It's crazy that they had an MMA. So during this time frame when you started, it would have been what, late
2006, 2006.
And
well,
so,
I mean, wrestling. I mean, fucking,
before that, yeah.
Yeah, wrestling. So what? I don't know,
MMA.
fucking 2001, maybe. I don't know.
This is still a super rare for fighting. Fighting gyms, MMA gyms were just
just
happening.
starting,
So
just
you just
happening.
got by chance having that.
It was
pop
like
up.
Yeah.
it was like Matt Hume, Pat Miletich in
Yep.
Iowa.
Yep.
And what were the other? There was only like
Eric Paulson.
8, yeah,
maybe.
across the states.
Eric Paulson.
Yeah, and then other than that, it was like, fuck.
The Academy in
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Real quick question: what did you do at Red Lobster?
I was a alley coordinator. So when you go to Red Lobster, you guys come for their jumbo shrimp and then, all you can eat popcorn shrimp. I made sure you had 20 shrimp on that motherfucking plate because that's what you paid for now. And you also had your lemon wedge and your dipping sauce. That was my motherfucking job.
I didn't know if you were a server. I'm like, actually, if I was a server at Red Lobster all day, coming home, I would want to fight too. that makes sense.
No, in the alley coordinator, we be fighting because people come back and goes, 18 shrimp. I was like, I counted fucking 20 before I sent it out there. Don't bring that bullshit back
Would
to
you
the
walk
kitchen.
out and yell at people? Be like, there was fucking 20.
No. Like, so
They're holding you back.
It was it was
Demetrious, no.
Yeah, it was me and my buddy Stevie. He wrestled, and that's how I got the job. And he was like, man, you should come work with me at Red Lobster, man. We were in the kitchen, run that shit. So okay. And so we'd be back there and we'd just be, counting up all the shrimp and sending it out. And when I was sending out to the server, which is his daughter, my wife now, I'm like, hey, here's a plate. She'll take it out. She'll come back in. She goes, there was only 15. I was like, Destiny, right? There was 20 on that fucking plate. I counted them myself, okay? So that's where I did it, Red Lobster.
I can understand now.
Yeah. So
That there is a fat fuck who's bad at math.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, Red Lobster was good, and but I left those jobs to pursue mixed martial arts, and then I got signed to the UFC when I went to Alaska. I knocked a guy out with a head kick, and then that's when I got noticed by the big leagues, and then I got signed by WEC, which eventually got absorbed by the UFC. But like you said, in the beginning of it, there was no 150. There was no fucking. The smallest weight class was 155.
Yeah.
And when they had 155, they're like, this isn't taking off. So they got rid of 155, and they only had 170, 185, 205, 265. That's all they fucking had. And so now they have 125, 135, women fighting now. You have guys fighting. Eddie Hearn just fucking fought 2 guys, 2 midgets.
Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall fucking powerbomb one of them. So I mean, the sport's gone.
You just chucked him. It was just like, and the guys just like left the ring. It's like a Smash Bros. Knockout.
He was like, oh, then the guy gets something, he goes, and it just knocked him out. So the sport's come so far from when I first started to where it is now.
It's like it's come so far. You have like one dude beating the shit out of 2 little dudes. You're like, this is where we
Yeah,
want.
if you guys haven't seen that yet, Eddie Hall, who is one of the largest human beings on this planet, he's won so many strongman competitions before. He just fought 2 men at the same time and was just tossing them around the ring.
If you've never seen him, think Pokemon Evolution of Caleb Francis.
There you go.
Yeah, and he tossed this dude. That would have been the most scary thing when you're that high in the air. And you're like, like you're a cat. You're like
trying to find your balance. And you land on your back. And then you get up and it's like, rush him. I mean, and now I just saw one where they had 2 chicks fight 1 big dude. Like they just have so many different fucking fights now in mixed martial arts. So
That was called my house growing up.
Dad
smells funny.
Dad smells funny again. Dad came home smelling funny. This is gonna hurt.
All right, Scooby-Doo, here we go.
Like, are you sure you want to be on this podcast?
I'm here.
So you've been with your wife since before you got big in MMA. So what's that been like? When did she realize like, oh, this is gonna be his whole career path?
Honestly, like when we first got together, we're both working in Red Lobster. I left Red Lobster and I gave her my number. It's like, hit me up. You're dope to talk to, hang out. And she hit me up that night. We've been together ever since then. But when I was going through it, you know, I was working multiple jobs. When I was working construction, in the wintertime, I was doing high care. So building buildings with brakes and motor. In the wintertime, you couldn't work. And so I worked with her father, my father-in-law, her dad, hanging gutters. And then eventually there came a point in time, she was like, so what are we gonna do with this? Like, are we gonna, you know, because you gotta start making fucking money. Because in the beginning of your career as an amateur, you don't make any money whatsoever. And then eventually, I had my first pro fight. It's like 500 show, 250 to show, 250 to win, $500. We all know that one pays shit. And then next is 750, 750. But, you know, she was like, there's gotta be a point in time where you're gonna have to take this serious. Like, you're gonna have to quit that job, quit fighting, and like get like a real job. Because I had jobs where I was making, you know, construction, I was making $15 an hour back in the early, you know, 2002. That's, you know, 2006. It's good money, right? But then I was like, I did the construction. I worked with her dad, and then I was at a job, and I was sitting there talking to this guy, and no, I was talking to him actually, and we're hanging gutters, and I work with him, and I see him do his thing, and next thing you know, we get to a house, and we start. I would measure, and I'll go to him, tell him, you know, write down the measurements on a piece of cardboard, and I'll give it to him, and he'll start making gutter. I'm like, Alan, I was like, you do this every goddamn day? He goes, every fucking day, EFD, every day. I was like, he goes, life is monotonous. You make your money, and when you make your money, you do the things you want to do, whether it's fishing, hunting, training at the gym, and all that stuff.
It's gonna be my new like live, laugh, love on my living room wall.
Yeah.
Life is monotonous.
Yeah. And it was like every fucking day. And when he said it to me, I was like, you know what? I was like, you're right. Like, I'm gonna do the things I love to do, which is training. And so I left. I didn't have to work with him anymore. So I went back to my old job. I was making $10.76
You made him finish the gutters by himself?
No.
Wow.
Whoa.
Just fucking laughed.
Oh, hey, that's a fucking blessing. No, like,
Well, I'm glad you had an epiphany.
Alan's like,
Doesn't do all for me.
this fucking thing's still gonna get hugged with a.
God damn it, you're right, Dad. I'm gonna go get famous. Bye.
So when I so when it came from, like, I went from Journeys, I was assistant manager, I left Journeys, I worked at Red Lobster, I left Red Lobster, worked at Journeys, assistant manager, I left Journeys to go work at a place called Kerastar, which was the construction plant house, not plant house, but it was a paper mill, and then I left there to go work construction. When I was working here, I was making $10.76 an hour. I went here to work construction, I was making like $15 an hour. And then when winter came, I went to work with my father-in-law. And then when he told me, he was like, life is monotonous. You make the money, you do what you would love to do. I quit my job here. I went back to the job where I was making $10.76 an hour because I worked 7 to 3. And I was able to get off work at 3, be at the gym at 3:30, train from 3:30 all the way to 7 o'clock. And then that's when it was like, hey, I told my wife now, I was like, hey, I'm happy, you're happy. You know, she's working 3 jobs too. And we just fucking ran it. And then that's when it just took off. Won my first fight, put all the money in the bank, won a second, all the money in the bank, third, all the money in the bank. And I just kept on stacking the chips.
and it takes a long time before you're making, as you're
Oh,
saying,
fuck,
like
yeah.
before you're a livable paycheck as in pro fighting, especially in the MMA back in the day, you are making pennies.
And that's not including all the stuff that the fighter has to pay for before you even get to that.
Yeah, when I fought my first fight in WC, it was check was $3,000 to show, $3,000 to win. I lost that fight. I had to pay $3,000 for a fucking MRI in California.
Yep.
And then I also broke my hand in the fight, and so that was also. And I was working full time when I did this too, and so I maybe got a bonus check. But after you get a bonus check, it was like $5,000. You got to pay your corner 25%. You got to pay Uncle Sam, not that he does anything, another fucking 20%.
I really like this man.
And then it's like, then you get home and it's like, all right, got to book. And then I had to pay, you know, lucky I had great insurance from my company. I was in the warehouse with a fucking pen in my hand, you know, working. It's just.
I'm just picturing you with the IRS agents like, all right, you want fucking 20%? I'll give you 20% of what the other guy gave me. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, like you said, it's a shit show. Like when you first start fighting, so when people are like, oh man, should I do mixed martial arts? I'm like, absolutely not. I was like, it's not. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's a long road, and I've been fortunate enough to be successful in the sport of mixed martial arts, and I'm healthy enough to have, you know, a logical conversation about it. And, you know, so many years, you see so many of these guys that fight for a very long time, and, you know, you try to talk to them, they're like, huh, what happened?
Yeah.
Like,
Punchy.
it just punch drunk, and
Boxing's terrifying with
Yeah.
that. It's really bad with boxing.
Absolutely.
There's an alternate universe you out there that's like, I just really want to see where this Red Lobster takes me.
Dude, well,
You're running 8 Red Lobsters. Just
And I bet in that universe, Red Lobster's not about to go out of business.
about a month ago, that didn't age really well.
You're right. They're out of fucking business now. I was like, you know what? I'm sitting there talking about my wife. I was like, you know what? I don't blame it. I mean, Red Lobster was never like back in like the early 2005, maybe late 90s. Red Lobster, like, we go to Red Lobster tonight, baby.
I bet if they put all 20 goddamn shrimp on the plate, they wouldn't still fucking be here.
I feel like you're like Robert De Niro in fucking what the Las Vegas movie, you know, where he's like
Casino?
Yeah, Casino, where he's like, there's only these blueberries in this muffin. No, there needs to be equal amounts of blueberries in this muffin, and he's like, there needs to be equal amounts of shrimp in this fucking thing right now.
just smashing faces on tables. They're like, oh God, I'm so sorry. So when you did fighting your first big paycheck, what was your first like? Hey, okay, you got in the UFC, and that was your first big actual like paycheck.
Yeah. My first big actual paycheck was like, I think $14,000 to show, $14,000 to win, and I lost that fight. It was for the world title against Dominic Cruz, and at the whole time I've been stacking my money, and so it was like, you know, when I was working 1076 an hour, you know, fucking
What weight class was that?
135 bantamweight.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you work at 1076 an hour, I think your average salary was like $22,000 a year, right? 40 hours a week. So when you fought, I won my first fight in UFC. I was fighting 5 sides, 10 Gs, do all the fucking tax bullshit. The next one was 5-5. I went, I think it goes by escalator, so 3-3. So it was 8-8, won that one, and then it kept on stacking it. So I had amassed enough money fighting those couple fights more than I would have worked 40 hours a week, right? A year at Kerastar. So I remember I won I lost the fight against Dominic Cruz. I got a check for $14,000. I came home, and I never forget, my wife was like, I already stopped working at this point. And she goes, baby, do I have to go to work? I was like, nah, fuck that, quit that job. And then that's when I was like, that first paycheck was like 14 to 14 was like that was a good piece of check. That was a good check for me.
Yeah.
And then after it got better and better.
Conor, you ever heard about TUSHY?
Oh, you mean this?
Did you know just wiping your butt with that dry ass toilet paper, just smearing poop around?
With Hello Tushy, you have a fresh stream of water spraying directly on your butthole, eliminating adult skid marks, itchy buttholes, and the risk of spreading pink eye.
No amount of furious wiping will give you that shower fresh confidence of washing with a Hello Tushy bidet. It'll change the way you think about wiping after a spicy dump. Now the reason I like a bidet is because it reminds me of Japan.
Plus, the cleansing feeling is amazing. Let's talk about the one you can take on the go.
You can clean that booty hole on the road now? Oh!
The at-home butthole cleaner is amazing.
Conor, you mean the 3 nozzle settings? It gives you, And every Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty.
It's that time of year for spring cleaning, and what better place to start than your butthole? Stop wiping until you bleed, and join the 2 million butts who've already switched to Tushy. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off your entire order when you use code UNSUB at checkout.
That's promo code UNSUB. When did you really go full in where you're like, okay, I am going fully in, I'm training extra, I want to be the best of the best? Because you hit that, like, which is fucking ridiculous and terrifying.
And it sounds like it happened very quick, too.
It happened after, well, because
This is still slow.
it was slow. Like,
I mean, after you hit that point, I mean.
yeah, well, it was like, so when you hit the UFC, it's like, you done it, you made it, whoo! Like, everything's gonna be good. But I was still working 40 hours a week. And my coach was like, you need to fucking quit your job. You're gonna be a world champion. I was like, nah, dog, until you guarantee me a check every week, you know, even though the check was like $400 a week, I'm not quitting. So I fought for world title while working 40 hours a week. Then once I won
That's fucking wild.
Once I won the world title, I was like, lost that fight. I was like, okay, I'll quit my day job because I'm making more money. And then I was still training on my own, not with my coach. Then I fought a guy named Ian McCall in Australia. I fought him at 125. It went to a draw. And then I was in the back, and my coach he goes, are you gonna take this serious now? Like, I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, no. I'm like, did you train with me for this fight? I was like, no. He goes, okay. When people in NFL or NBA, when they train for season, do you think they just do their own shit on their own? And I was like, I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. He goes, exactly. He goes, from now on, here on out, when you eat, sleep, shit, I want to know everything you're doing. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm giving you the reins. Like, I'm just going to come train with you full time. And then that's when it just
Skyrocket.
Like everybody was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, I started training now. And they're like, that makes sense.
Oh shit.
Yeah. They're like, you started training. And I was like, yeah, I went there. My coach was doing my strength conditioning. He was doing my dieting. He was doing pretty much everything. And then that's when everything just, then the next check was like 28-20 and I won that. The next one was like 23-23. Then I became the world champion. And it was like, oh, here's a check for, $120,000. I'm like, what am I doing with all this fucking money? And it's like,
giving it to Uncle Sam.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then they're like, you need to open an LLC. You need to open an S corporation. You need to have her on payroll. You got to have your. It's like, then that's when it just took off, and then.
I just you got a chance for a world title fight, and you were just essentially going to the Y for classes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And you're like, one, two. That's when you're that good. You're the world champ. Fucking, you're in the running for it. And you're like. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I just always had this humility, and I've always been humble because my upbringing, I was raised by a single mother, deaf, me and my brother in the household, met my sister when I was like maybe 13, 14 years old. Never met my dad. My stepdad was abusive, so it's kind of like you kind of grow up with a sense of like you're grateful for the opportunity to be able to go out there, make some money, come back home, and because you just never know what's going to happen. So I never fell in love with the lights, right? Like I see a lot of guys like, man, I love the lights. I love people calling my name and cheer me on. It's like after I won my fight, I was like, I got to get back home. HOA is on my ass. I got to pressure wash this fits. I don't want no problem at home. Thank you. God bless. And I'll go home. So I've always been humble throughout my whole entire career, even to today.
It's the most Karate Kid shit I've ever heard. Right? Sorry, I gotta get back home and pressure wash the fence.
Wax on, wax off.
Coach Hume said so.
Yeah. Well, they would just get like, and it was I guess you say an anomaly when I look at myself now. Like I look at today's market of like mixed martial artists, a guy wins, oh man, blah, da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, it was a great fight. I made a couple mistakes in there. I'm excited to get back in the gym and work on the next title defense, and gotta go pressure wash the fence. And then Monday morning, I'm like, and everyone's like, oh man, you want 50 G's on top of that, 380. What you doing? I was like, working in the yard. Is that a problem? And
I did what I said I was doing. I'm pressure washing a fucking fence.
Yeah, exactly. So I was a little bit different. Where I think today people appreciate like my straightforwardness and like how I'm just like, this is who I am. You either like me, you don't. Where back in the day, I don't think they appreciated it.
It's the idea of like selling a fight because that's where you have those different fighters. It's like McGregor's a great. Like he's just like, bah! Like, I'm gonna be loud and boisterous. I'm gonna be the villain. Mayweather went from money. Well, Pretty Boy to Money Mayweather because he was like, I'm gonna be a fucking villain.
Yes.
And then people will pay to watch me fight, and you got to see that.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
paychecks too.
Yeah, and I felt like for my style, it was like you want to see me because of my intelligence in fighting, right? Like let me show you like how I can do certain things that you've never seen before. And it didn't really translate in the beginning of my career, but now I feel like it translated very well when I went over to one championship. Everybody was like, why is this guy not in the UFC? Why did they trade him, et cetera, et cetera? So I think in the long run, like I'd rather keep this persona towards it's just me for I'm 65 years old and I'm still the same person. When you get around Conor, like I've been around Conor, great guy. But then when he was like, you motherfuckers, I don't know what I was like, who is this person, right? Like it's just different. And it's
the brand.
The brand, right? Yeah. So he's had to keep that brand until the day he dies, or it's like, I'm just tired of it. And it's a choice he has to live with, but yeah.
But you brought up your fighting intelligence, which is something that, like, dear God, do you have it? Because it's kind of scary to watch you in 240 frames per second. Watch you make these decisions, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna bully this guy into a corner, and then he's getting a flying knee right in the fucking face, like at the exact right moment. It was actually kind of scary to watch.
And
Yeah.
the movement. It's just as you said. You worked on your defense really good. It was just like I'm just not going to get hit.
Yeah.
And that saved your noggin,
Yep.
especially
Oh, well,
this late in life.
why doesn't everyone do that? I'm just not gonna get hit.
It's a lot of
Rocky Balboa?
yeah, it's a lot of training. It's a lot of like asking questions, understanding how the body moves, and even to this day, I still train. I do most of my training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the gi just to understand like how the body, choking people out with like their fucking t-shirts now, and it's like I'm just fascinated how the body moves and how the body can think. It's like if I move this way, what is a natural movement of a human being? Just like you guys shoot guns all the time. Don't know your guys' background, but I'm assuming you guys have done some type of military background, law enforcement. So
Brandon.
you guys,
Shut up, Eli.
Brandon's got he's got a medal of honor. He's got a medal of honor.
So
I'm the only person at the table who has no formal
He has a
military
medal
law
of honor.
enforcement.
No.
Yeah, not at all.
No, our boy has a medal of honor.
He's got a purple medal of honor.
My asshole friends steal valor for me.
We have given him valor and he hates it. He's like, stop it. Now the internet's like, Brandon is a hero. Double salute.
I've been photoshopped as those like North Korean generals with like 80 fucking medals.
God.
I'm like, oh, fucking dickheads.
but you guys know how. I'm assuming you guys have all been in the military, right? Do we all agree? Yes. Yes.
No,
100%.
No, you
Yeah.
haven't. No, you haven't. You, yes. Yes, you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys have trained how the body moves and how people are going to make certain movements, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with me. Like I go, bam, and I know what your reaction is going to be essentially. And I've studied it over and over and over and done it 1,000 times with people bigger, smaller, fatter, stronger, and we've done it for like 20 fucking years and it becomes like second nature. Like I hit pads the other day with somebody, I'm like, oh man, you still move quick. And I'm like, quick. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to lose it because I've done it for 20 fucking years every single day for 4 hours a day. So
What have you noticed because you're getting older and you fight at a 135 still?
Yep, 135, yep.
So have you noticed that, okay, hey, my reaction's still, but my body's not moving as sharp as it used to be. I know Roy Jones, he talked about that. He was like, it was weird because one day he was just like,
stop.
Yeah, and then he got hit. He's like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I think honestly for me, I think my genetic makeup, I haven't slowed down like speed wise. If anything, I probably got faster just because I know where I need to be. That makes sense, right? I know I need to be here to like cut off like milliseconds of that window of opportunity to be able to capitalize on things. I think the biggest thing I've noticed a difference is that my body doesn't heal as fast as it used to. That's the biggest thing because when I'm doing those jiu-jitsu tournaments, I'm like, you do 6 matches, it could be guys the same size, it could be a guy who's heavier than you if you go into an open weight division, and afterwards I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I just got hit by something, like it beats the body. Where it comes to fighting, fighting is so much easier, like, than jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Clip that. Clip that part.
Fighting's easier than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude,
Absolutely.
that's crazy.
Yeah, because it's like I have a buddy who's in law enforcement.
Well, sorry, do you mean gi or no gi? Or does it matter?
Gi is a lot harder.
Really?
Yes. No gi's fucking easy. My opinion.
Really?
My
Why?
opinion. Because like if I'm going with Cody, and let's say he has some form of curriculum of in the gi, if he grabs me, I have to break his grip. He's attached to me. We become one. In no gi, I can just push him and create space and move.
So like more variables?
It's more, oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Like I can, if I put him in like a lasso or a worm or a squid guard and he's never been exposed to it, he's like, what the f- is this?
Yeah.
Right? Like as if I put it in your guys' world, it's like if you're a police officer, it's either, I would assume SWAT would be a lot easier than fucking patrolling on the freeway. Let me give you context why. Okay, SWAT, it's like, hey, we're gonna go after this motherfucker. He's right here. He's been up in this house. We're gonna go there you're gonna be in the fucking front. You're gonna have the flash grenades, da da da. Rather, if you're pulling somebody over, you don't know who the fuck this is. You don't know what he's got, right? That's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the gi. This is no gi. It's like this is fighting. Excuse me. You know what you're getting yourself into in fighting.
Yeah, this is the best analogy I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because
The unknown sucks.
The unknown sucks is like, okay, I'm going to a tournament with 30 motherfuckers. I don't know what you're gonna do. It is what it is. We're gonna run it and see what happens. This is like, okay, I'm fighting you. I have 3 months to prepare for you. I can watch all this tape on you. I know what your tendencies are. I know what your mistakes are. I know what you're strong at. All right, light work, easy. To where this is the unknown. This is way harder. Just like if you pull somebody the fuck over, it's like, I don't know who the fuck I'm gonna get in this car. It says Jackson, da-da-da-da. You pull up and you never know.
Super interesting. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time. So like most people that only
That's why he wanted to fight.
Most
you.
people
He shut the fuck up.
That's why I didn't want to fight you.
That's all the fucking cards. We can do it.
Yeah,
He said Demetrious who?
Yeah, dude, there's carpet in there. We can watch you and Nick roll around for a minute. Like,
Nick's weird because he wants to do it naked.
I'm not here for that. He'll sub in for me.
He wants real no-gi. Only a tank top.
He's lighting candles in the corner.
Just compression shirts, okay? No, when
Hand slap on the back.
so when did you start doing more gi stuff?
After I got knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah, after I got knocked out, I was like, okay, I gotta, like, after I would train for my fights, I wouldn't train, because my gym is an hour and 15 minutes away from my house. And so there's always these people who are like, oh, you should come train with me, you should come train with me. And I was like, no, I don't want to, I want to. Then one of my coaches goes, you should come train with this guy. He's from Brazil, he's nasty. His name is Professor Jan. He goes, come train with him. I was like, all right, fuck it. Excuse me, I'll come train with him. Train with him, he me up. Like, it was a fucking murder. And I was like, all right, motherfucker. In the gi.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, motherfucker. Of course, you go fucking up in the gi.
Yeah.
Took my gi off, it was even worse. Like, he just destroyed me. And I was like, I'll train here. And then I started training there, and how he taught the curriculum, how he was so passive, and he was like, you know,
Relaxed fighter.
just relaxed. And I just fell in love with the gym. And then I had my kids started training there in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So they just had their 2-year anniversary. So it's been really good. And I love the gi. Like, I love the aspect of, like, because when I first started fighting in mixed martial arts, it's like I'm gonna teach you how to survive. That's what I'm gonna teach you, how to survive. And then I'm gonna drop you off and good luck, right? You have kind of like this sense of like survival. Like, you have different things that come up. Like, your brain starts firing off of different neurons. And as an amateur, that's how it was for me. It's like, hey, you're gonna fight in 8 weeks. Who am I fighting? I don't fucking know. Yeah, I don't know. There's no tape on it. There's no nothing. So you actually get into the fight. It's like, okay, round 1, you go in there, you move, you feint, you throw your inside, you find your distance. Then as the fight progresses, you start to figure out the problem. Then you finish him. You solve it by taking him out. So in gi, that's what it feels like for me. Is like when I go to these tournaments, I have no idea what's going to happen. So I have to figure out the problem, solve the problem, and that's what I just love so much. That's kind of tangent. I don't know what the question was.
No, that's good.
We all thought we were
Okay.
fucking into it.
we're
I'm surprised we're still talking about fighting right now.
I'm all just enthralled by this conversation, dude.
I did have a question too, because you brought up like the way that nowadays your body doesn't quite heal the way that it used to. I don't know. We can cut this if you want, but I was just kind of curious because like I know there's limitations to what you can and can't take.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're doing UFC and stuff like that, I don't know if there's any like new peptides or anything that you've tried for like literally like body joint repair.
Yeah. So
stuff like that.
I've never done steroids before. I've done stem cells in my hand, my knees, my shoulders. I've done PRP, plasma rich
Oh, I haven't heard of
platelets.
Plasma rich, yeah.
Yeah,
that. How's
plasma
that?
rich.
Is it?
It's good, I guess. I mean, it's good. I have tried BPC 157. I tried TB 500. But the thing is with that is that it's, they call it the Wolverine cure, right? But when I talk to a person who's done it a lot more than I have, he says, dude, you're way underdosed. Like, you got to fucking jack those numbers up.
Yeah.
And we're just, I tried it to help fix a injury I've had for many, many years. I have a tear in my right hip. And so I tried it and it didn't heal it at all because it's, what's it called? It's cartilage.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't heal cartilage.
Yeah.
It's supposed to bring more blood vessels and all that stuff, more blood to the area. So it's cartilage. It didn't heal it. And then it's funny, I got an MRI and he goes, oh, you just have bursitis. I was like, that's it? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, so you tell me I'm just getting older? She goes, pretty much. Good luck.
Have fun.
Have fun. So then then I just started running again and it healed. But for how I heal my body is cold plunge, sauna, feels great, and just rest and water and.
Interesting. Yeah, BPC 157. I'm glad you brought that up because that specifically, I had a wrist injury that had plagued me for like fucking, I don't know, over half a decade. That all of a sudden I did BPC because it kind of re-injured.
Yeah.
My doctor put me on it. It was done in 30 days.
Yeah.
It completely healed. And this had plagued me for years. I was like about to cry. I was so happy. I'm like, thank fucking God.
Well, I think that like the peptides is, it's always funny because people are like, oh, it's against the rules, take peptide, da 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 da. And at one point in time, I think it was TB 500 was not on the banned substance list of USADA. And then eventually it became banned for some fucking reason. I have no idea. But all that stuff is doing is basically sending a response to your body to say, hey, release, because our body has all it, right? It just sends a response like, hey, release more of it.
Hey, shit's fucked up over here. Please fix it.
Go fix it, right? It's not like when you take steroids, it's like, hey,
muscle, go.
Yeah, exactly. You're giving your body the opportunity to recover a lot more. So, like, for me, I think for people, especially depending on what sport you're in, TB 500 and BPC 157, I know Joe Rogan's a big fan of it. My coach just got stem cells in Tijuana, and he said he loves it, but he didn't want to touch the TB 500 and BPC 157. But, yeah, I mean, if you do it, I think make sure you consult your doctor and have fun.
The attorney's coming out a little bit. Whatever your doctor says is okay.
You're not the attorney.
No, God, no. Dude, we'd be in prison if I was the attorney, man.
Oh, God. Now, you'll like actually this story. So, Brandon never fought a day in his life, period. To like martial arts, anything.
Outside of like, it was like a couple of bar fights. That was my fucking experience.
Medal of Honor was the one. So, I get a call from him. He's
last year-ish?
Yeah, last year. He's like, I took a fight. I was like, he's like, boxing match. I was like, fuck yeah. Okay, hell yeah. He's like, will you help? I was like, yeah, I would love to help train. Like, okay, what are we looking at? I'm thinking amateur fight. Da, da. He's like, no, it's a pro fight. I was like, you're doing a pro boxing match? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Well, we
10
got
ounce,
some time.
full 9 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, we got time to how long? He's like, 5 weeks from now. I was like, bro, what the fuck, dog? And I was like, you have to come over like today and spar.
Yeah, literally, like he's like, drive to my house right now.
It was. I was like, oh my God, bro. I was like, we got 5 weeks to beat the shit out of you so you get comfortable in the ring.
Yeah.
And thankfully, he sparred every day.
Oh, goddamn.
It was like 6 days a week. Like we were fucking hitting it the whole time. And
he won.
Good shit.
Still looked a little sloppy. Like I go back and I look at that fight and I'm like, ooh. You could tell this motherfucker didn't know about the fight until 6 weeks ahead of time. Like, it's pretty fucking rough. But yeah, I feel like I could do better now. But
hey, at least you've done it, right? Like that's a lot of things. A lot of people out there say, "Oh fuck, I can do better than that." I was like, "Have you though? Have you tried it?" Right? So, props to you for actually getting there and doing it. Because there's a lot of people out there who wouldn't have the fucking balls to do it.
And I enjoyed the shit out of it. It ended up being a 3rd round knockout on a jab.
Yeah.
Oh, you knocked him out?
Yeah.
Oh, kudos to you.
I was so pissed. I told him so many times.
Oh, shut up.
The double salute.
Hit him with a double.
The one thing I kept.
Et tu, Brute?
We kept harping. I was like, you're never going to knock somebody out with a jab. And he's like, slip. And it hit him and it just dropped the guy. I was like, well, he knocked him out with a jab. God damn.
There you go.
I think in the video it looked more like, oh!
Yeah, I was like,
Dude, if I could just have, through every tribulation of life, if I could just have a cheerleader like Eli, dear God, he was going ape shit in the corner.
just yelling, kill him!
Well, I mean, it was the first time he ever did it. 6 weeks to prepare for it. So, he had a lot of heart and soul on your preparation to hopefully see you succeed. And you succeeded. So, it's...
I wouldn't have without him. But I love our code word. He's like, dude, if you stagger him, if I see he's weak or whatever, he's like, I'm going to have a fucking code word, like, just for you to go fucking ape shit. Just give him everything you got. I think our code word was kill, kill.
You just hear it echoing.
Kill.
Because the dude would like stagger. I'd be like, kill. Brad would be like, you just see Brad go, just walk towards him and just start swinging. I'm like, yeah.
I love that.
That was funny. Probably one of the best experiences of my life. That was fun.
Who was, with one of your fights, what was one of the worst fights where you, like, that first time getting hit by somebody that hits way harder than the rest and you're like, oh, that didn't feel good?
I would say John Dodson. He hit me, and I was like, I got dropped. I was like, blah, blah, blah. And that was the first time I lost somebody in that fight. And he hit me with a right hook, and I was like, oh shit, I lost him in the middle of the fight. And I go, boom, and I was like, fuck. And I lay down, I go, okay, we okay, baby? You okay? Let's get back in it. come here. And then this is real okay, right? It's like, yeah, I'm like, you talk to yourself. I was like, that's okay, I ain't shit. And then he dropped me again. I was like, okay, we've been here before. Dropped me again. And I was like, and then he started getting tired. I was like, all right, it's my turn, motherfucker. And then that's what I started putting on him. But now it's like, that fight, John Dotson, and when I fought Kyoji Horiguchi in Montreal, I was super sick. I
were sick?
I was sick. I got water poison.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. He dropped me. No, he didn't drop me. He took me down. And I was like, I don't want to be here right now. Like, I don't want to be here. But those are only two. Other than that, it was like, I get hit and I was like, that's all you fucking got? I was like, or like you kick somebody and they check it and like, you know, your shins clash. And then like that happened to me. I was like, okay, it's a party now. Let's fucking go. Let's see what you got. And then you get crazy. You just go.
All alone? Now time to trim the old pubes.
Hey there, beach babe. Are you ready to soak up those summer vibes and get the perfect beach bod?
I don't have pants on.
Yeah, I noticed. Well, you're in luck, because our friends over at MANSCAPED.com have you covered from head to toe. With the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, they'll have you looking and feeling good this summer. Trust Manscaped to unlock the confidence you need to turn heads this summer season. Join the 10 million men who already trust Manscaped and use discount code UNSUB at checkout to get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Save me. Keep your ear and nose as tidy as your hedges. With the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose head trimmer, you'll be looking classy as ever.
The updated Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra groin and body hair trimmer got a summer makeover. It's waterproof now for all those times you need to shave your groin or body hair at a pool party.
So get 20% off plus free shipping using code UNSUB at manscaped.com. The summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped to keep those pubes at bay.
It's weird that you like gi so much now. Because like most MMA fighters, I feel like they hate gi.
Because they don't like the complexity of the gi and how hard it is. Like for me, I like hard shit. Like I just like to try to solve a problem. And that's what gi provides for me.
It's so funny because I feel the exact opposite way about it.
Well, why don't you guys put it to the test?
What Nick is saying is he wants to go into the other room.
He was an MMA fighter and a wrestler beforehand. So like having a singular goal is probably easier for you because like wrestling, it's like I'm going to put your shoulder blades on the mat whether you fucking want me to or not. And MMA is easier for me because it's like I have 50 different thousand options and a bag full of tricks to catch somebody. It's really hard for me to be like, I only have one option and he knows what it is and I have to do it anyway. So like that's hard for me because I came from the exact opposite end.
So you think about it though, like in the gi, you know, what belt are you?
Purple.
Purple, right? So you have your lasso, you have your squid, you have your worm, you have all these, you have spider guard, you have trench, you have all these guards. Yeah. And what I like to do is I like to have my game is about movement. Movement is life. Movement, you know, the body in motion stays in motion. The body at rest lays at rest. It dies, right? So for me, when I start going and I start grabbing somebody and I start working my judo and I try to do my sacrifice throw or high crotch or
which is insane, by the way.
Yeah, so I start doing that and then I start doing all that stuff and I add my movement. Then if I go against a guy who's like you, who's a lot bigger, you know, I'll try to throw you, see how your balance is. Oh, okay, he has good balance. And I'll pull guard and see what you're going to do. You come my guard. I'm okay, I'm going to do lasso. You go, you defeat the lasso. Okay, he's off balance. Like, I just read your body mechanics. And then I throw all these things at you and see how you react. And once you make that bad mistake, then it's like, hey, this is the opening to get you. So that's what I love about, like I said, the gi. Even in jiu-jitsu, even in fighting, they all correlate. It's all one universe. It's about, like, how the body moves.
When you started, were you like training a lot more no-gi and no-gi at all? Or?
My 18 years in jiu-jitsu was all no-gi, and then I transitioned into no-gi, into the gi. But my first professor, Bibiana, he was like, it's the same stuff. Like, it's about patterns of movement in the body. So just because you're in the gi, you're not in the gi doesn't mean you don't know the curriculum in the gi. Because once I jumped in the gi, when I was even doing no-gi, and I would jump in the gi, I'll beat black belts because of my movement and just submitting them. So it's like, he goes, you see what I mean, brother? He goes, it's all about the movement. You understand movement, you understand lock, you understand armbar, triangle, you black belt, you good. So
good
that's how
Asian accent.
No, he's Brazilian actually.
Brazilian accent.
Now that you do gi,
Yeah, right?
now that you do gi way more, and then when you go back to no gi, do you feel like you're even faster than you were before?
Okay, because like the grips, like I'm constantly doing this all day, like grabbing grips and pulling. So when I go back to no gi, it's like I grab people and I'm like this, And I'm like, why is your hand sticking? I was like, because I'm used to grabbing you like this. Now I'm grabbing you like that. And yeah.
I always try to tell like all the wrestlers that come in that hate gi, it's like a turtle shell in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And then you take it off, you're 10 times faster for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
It's like the hyperbolic time chamber. It's like you're like, oh,
there's so much more friction.
Yes.
Everything's harder.
Yeah, I agree. But I love, like I said, I love gi. It's a nice transition where I'm at now in my career where it's like I don't want to get hit in the head anymore. I just want to focus more on building my brand, staying healthy, spending time with the wife and kids, and competing in the gi.
That's cool.
Dude, and you got, how long have you been doing YouTube or pursuing that? Because your number, like, we were talking about it, we were like, man, Homeboy's killing it. Like, your podcast is doing good, and then you have your reactions, and those numbers are climbing. How long have you been pursuing that?
That's the crazy part. Just to add on that, onto the question, the people that I've talked to about you and having you on the podcast, they don't go immediately like, oh, this is the most dangerous fighter in the world, pound for pound. They go, that's the guy who does like the gaming shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of funny that you've added to the brand in that way.
Yeah, I mean, gaming was always my first passion, and so when I started doing that on Twitch, I started streaming on Twitch. Yeah, dude, I love fucking gaming. Like gaming is like gaming and anime is like my first love. But when I started fighting, I started gaming, and then when I started doing Twitch, I did Twitch for 9 years. Then I switched to YouTube. And then once again, I was doing YouTube. When I first started doing YouTube seriously, I started editing my own videos and just like kind of taking a little bit off of like following his footsteps with how he reacts to people getting fucked up. And so I started doing that. And then eventually I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hire, I met a guy named Michael Wansover, and we were working together, and he was somebody else's producer. And then they had a falling out. Then I hired him, and I was like, once I hired him, like at that point I had like 265,000 subscribers. Then once I hired him, like I had no ego. He was like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And it's taken off. And then when we did the Mighty Cast, the podcast, I was like, I love talking to people. I love knowing people's stories. I love that aspect of life. And that's been something I've been really, truly enjoying. And now that's like where all my focus is just the podcast, the reaction videos, building the YouTube, because I can do that till I'm fucking 85 years old.
Yeah.
Right? I can't fight until I'm 85, so I'm trying to like slowly
Not with that attitude.
Right?
You're just breaking bones.
Yeah. I'm slowly trying to transition.
Let's break our wrists.
Yeah. So I'm slowly trying to transition out of like the mixed martial arts, but that's why I love Jiu Jitsu, because I can still do it and compete at a very high level and get that feeling of like a purpose to train for and work out, and then go there and see how good I am. And if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win.
That's cool.
Dude, so at what year did you really go into the YouTube game?
I would say a year.
A year? And you're fucking killing it.
Leaving a year
and a half. Yeah, I would say a year.
God, you're one of those pieces of shit that just climb real fast.
Well,
God,
yeah,
you're
fuck
good.
you.
Well, you gotta think.
Oh, look at me.
We post
Mr. Humble.
we post 3 videos a day. Sometimes
Fuck me.
Jesus.
Holy
No,
shit, dude.
A week.
A week. Excuse me.
I was like, I'm
why are you
looking at your
here?
channel.
three videos a week. We also have the gaming side of it. We have the reaction videos. We have the live breakdowns. We have all that stuff. So we try to make it be consistent as possible, and also try to like give it like a live channel, right? Like there's so many guys out there that, who do like, YouTube's all about consistency, right? If you keep on pushing the content out there, then they're come out there and they're gonna watch it and they're gonna love it, right? Hey, what's going on, guys? Dono operator here. This
Hi,
motherfucker.
everyone.
Hi,
everyone.
Yeah. I sit there and I'm like, oh shit.
What? Two. He's cut off.
Once it comes on, you buckle the fuck up and you get ready to watch the content.
Sounded empty. Get him another one.
No, that's good. But you start to get
Speaking of another
used to like watching that person curate content. Thank you. Do the content, and so I've been trying to take a page out of those guys' books who have been successful in the YouTube space.
Well, dude, it's cool. As you're saying, it is consistency is key, and that's what we literally Saturday's episode was all about the boys, their journey on they're growing up in YouTube and actually finally making, because Eddie did 800 fucking videos. This dude did 800 videos. And then he was just living off his wife. He was like going broke. He made money and then it went away. He's like, approached his wife, Gabby, and was like, hey, I got an idea. I'm starting a brand new channel, but it's going to work this time, babe. And then in 6 months, homeboy has 5 million subscribers.
See?
Like,
that's amazing. That's great.
And that's what's crazy. It's the consistency, and then it's seeing what works, what sticks.
Yep.
And like yours is your strongest one right now. The podcast, your biggest numbers.
No, it's I think it's the whole thing because we kind of package it like as just the channel itself. I guess.
Oh yeah, you 100%.
Better way. And like you just said, like we go through what does well, what doesn't, and we're always learning from YouTube. We always ask other people who are also in the YouTube space what works for them, what didn't work for them, and we try to take all that data, sit down, digest it. And we just try to do our best to, make great content. And then when I talk to my producer, I tell him like, I'm not gonna do something that I don't feel comfortable with, or I don't think it's funny, right? Like I just don't.
So, oldest son is 10.
Tired.
Has it like dawned on him that his dad is like pretty famous yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyron and Maverick, they know. They're in my last fight. They understand, and they're cool about it. Like the one thing I tell them, I was like, I don't take pictures when I'm with my kids. And then I don't, that's the biggest thing I always tell him. I was like, I don't take pictures when I'm with you guys. My son's like, oh, it's okay, Dad, go ahead. I'm like, no. I was like, and me and my father-in-law were talking about something here. It's like, I don't want my kids growing up to be like, oh, you always took time for your fans, you never cared about me, da-da-da-da. But that's what I focus on them, not the fans. And I tell the fans, like, I'm on vacation. I'm like, hey, like, I'm with the kids right now, but if you see me going to take a piss, on my way back, I'm with the kids, snag me. I'll love to take a picture. But when I'm with my kids, I don't want their childhood being remembered me taking pictures with fans. I was like, if you hate me for it, I was like, you hate me for it, don't buy a pay-per-view. Don't watch me fight. Like, it is what it is. I'm going to keep on fighting, doing my thing. And
how's their perspective been? Like, is it one of those things where because dad does it, it's not cool?
So,
or
my oldest does jiu-jitsu. He loves it. He competes. He loves to compete. Middle, he does it because he has no choice. My daughter, she just does whatever she wants to do. But my oldest, he knows.
Father-in-law's laughing over here.
They're gonna know how to fight, damn it.
Well, we just, like I said, in today's age, I feel that they need to have some type of hard discipline. Like when I fucking wrestled in high school, I showed up to practice and my coach was like, go run 5 miles, you're not getting any water, then we're gonna start training. You do that today's fucking age? Good luck at having a job. He's gonna get fired the next day, right? Like they don't build them fucking tough like they used to, right? So for my boys, I'm like, you guys can do jiu-jitsu. It's the only sport. It's one of the only sports where you're gonna go against another man your size, and you guys are gonna fight. Like no punches, but you're going to fight another man, and I can't step in and do anything. So they all three have to do jiu-jitsu. So he does jiu-jitsu, and he feels the pressure when he competes, and I'm in his corner. And so now I don't corner him anymore. I don't coach him anymore when he's competing because he's like, dude, like I just have to live up to your expectation.
It's a big shadow.
It's a big shadow. And I'm like, and I told he's hey, I want those steaks cooked good, not overdone.
You just make fun of your shadow side. It's that cinematic shot. It's a little shadow.
Yeah. So I tell him, I was like, dude.
I really don't want to fight later.
No, it's okay. I tell him, I was like, dude, just relax, have fun. I just want you to be the best version of yourself. I don't want you to be like me, be better than me. And so he does a good job, and he's starting to understand it now, but I don't coach him anymore. Like when it comes to competition, like I'll coach him at the gym, but when it comes to competing,
it's just bad for the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's bad for the relationship. I just think he can't like put it all together when I'm in the corner. So I just stay away.
Are we trying one of those right now?
No, what the fuck is that?
Oh, you gotta have
What
one.
the fuck are you doing?
Nick bought him. I don't know.
Spicy pickled quail eggs, bro.
Nick bought quail eggs for everyone.
We're gonna do a quail egg.
I don't know. I'll eat
Do I have
a
to break the
fucking quail egg.
shell?
I think they're de-shelled already.
Yeah, I think they're like soft boiled.
I'll try one.
I mean,
right.
I'm trying worse shit in
I know,
fucking Manila,
exactly.
so they're like, you want to try
No, that's not terrible.
You fight
Dude,
grown
how
men
is-
in cages for a living. If you won't try a quail egg, I'm gonna be upset.
You gonna try one now?
How is it? I like you're raising
Got some
your
spice
kid,
to it.
You're raising your kid right, or your kids right in the because
That's
Cody
great.
and Cody. I mean, we all know this position right now. Our kids are fucking spoiled.
Yeah.
Like the hardest part is not raising a spoiled kid. You're like, oh man, we all all of us grew up poor as shit. All of us grew up poor as shit.
Yeah.
Like, poor. So it is that he grew up in a trailer. I grew up Mexican house, all of a 600 square foot house for 7 people. Like, we grew up poor.
That's why we all beat our children so they know what it's like.
I know. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
don't do that. But
Any opportunity I get to hit my son, I do it.
that's one thing. That's
Oh,
one
those
thing.
are good.
They are good. That's one thing I haven't done. Like, I haven't laid one finger on my kids.
I should try it. No, I just don't want to put a reminder out there. This is a comedy podcast.
Comedy podcast. It's the next shirt, Demetrious punching kids.
No,
It's our best-selling merch.
this is because my brother, he has schizophrenic bipolar. And so I think our upbringing, my stepdad, he was
Is your
military.
brother?
My brother.
Yeah.
Damn, you slap.
Actually, pretty good. Thanks,
Yeah,
Nick.
I know, right? Fuck yeah.
Ooh, good choice, bro.
Spicy pickled quail eggs.
That's
Fuck
the hard
yeah.
part, though. Like,
I need some in fucking.
like,
Washington.
like I'm not super rich, but like, I'm gonna have money to give my kid money for the fucking book fair at school, which is like something I didn't really have. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
Scholastic Book Fair.
I knew I made it when I had like appetizer money at Applebee's. That was like my, like, that's how poor I grew up. Like, when I could get appetizers,
When
It's
stopped-
When I
when
looked at
stopped-
Olive Garden, it's not a fancy restaurant, so when I knew I made it. I remember
When
just
I-
being like, man, one day I'm going to be able to take my girl there.
Yes.
when I went to a restaurant or like bought food and shit and didn't look at the prices.
yeah.
It's like I don't care how much this costs. Like that was that click.
The hard part with kids though is you're like, fuck, he's not going to be poor. How hard do I have to be on him so he's at least funny still? If I'm not hard enough on him, he's not going to be funny. He's got to have some trauma.
Light trauma. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Enforce that trauma.
It's like a muscle. You got to break it down to build it up, but you don't want to snap it in half. Like,
You were talking about your brother. Sorry.
Oh, so our brother, he, our upbringing, my stepdad, his dad was military. He was very, very abusive. And I'm sure we all have had some type of abuse growing up as a kid. But he would, abuse us for doing just stupid shit. And I think when he started to go down the path of his schizophrenic and bipolar came into play, he would do the things that our stepdad did to us when we were children. And so from that point on, like just that trauma of us being kids, I'd never like hit my kids or anything like that. And that's a cool thing. Like I do jiu-jitsu, so I can like fucking like give me a little like and just boom, like damn, that was on me hard today. I don't know what's going on.
You don't have to
I've
hurt
met
him
your
to,
father-in-law. He'd shoot you. We all know that story.
yeah.
It is crazy when you because it's good. Like you can discipline your kid in different ways.
Yeah.
With
And hey, I'm all for it. Like my best friend, he whoops his kid's ass. So I'm like, hey, you do that. You go Playboy. And my other best friend, he whoops his son's ass too. And I'm like, hey, go ahead, do it.
I think there's a difference between like discipline and abuse. There's definitely a very clear line.
1,000%. And like I said, for me, I've done it. And now my buddy's dad, who whooped his son's ass, he goes, don't whoop my grandson's ass. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. And he goes, you whooped my ass? He goes, did you like it? No. He goes, then don't do it to him. Please don't.
it's that learning. Like, man,
Yeah.
I hated that shit.
Yeah.
Autism, they don't. So it's a weird thing that they tell you. It's like, hey, with it, they're not going to understand that discipline. It's being spanked. They just don't understand. You're just hurting them for no reason. So like riding, it's just simply like, I'm gonna throw away your shit. And he'll be like, he's not doing that. I was like, I'll throw away your tablet. He was like, I am so sorry, Daddy. What do I need to do? Like, don't ever do that again. He's like, I will not do that again.
I feel like there's a bell curve to that too, where like you're so young that you like, at a certain age you can understand reason.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, okay, beating your ass, like when I can explain something to you, like, you should never use force when you don't have to. And then it whips right back around when they get older, where it's like, oh no, I have to beat your ass because you're getting close to a grown man. So like,
that's the thing where I was talking to my father-in-law and I said, man, it's like my oldest, he's getting, I'm fucking 5'3". He's probably like 4'8". So he's getting up to my size. And I'm like, man, if I'm gonna have to fight one of my kids, it's gonna be this one because he just has
Testosterone kicking in.
He's starting to kick in. I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And I told my wife, I said, babe, I'm just gonna let you know I'm gonna have to fight this one. She goes, don't fight her, baby. I was like, as long as I win.
Him.
It's the
Yeah.
best.
I was like, as long as I win, we're good to go, right?
You just play the flying knee.
Yeah, it's like,
Have you seen this?
Yeah, this shit would happen to you. I don't give a fuck.
So my favorite story with John, though, dude, we were in a grocery store one day, and he's like, you know this one.
Yeah.
He's like 3 years old, and I'm carrying him around, and he just, like, I wouldn't get him something. He slaps the shit out of me. And so I just slap his ass back. But not like hard knock him out slap. I just give him a little pop.
Yeah.
Because he did that to me. But the old lady that was coming around the corner just saw me fucking just like give him a little pop. And so her and I make eye contact. And I'm like, oh shit, she just saw me abuse my child.
Keep walking, Granny.
Yeah,
I just like the story. He did it first.
yeah, exactly, right? It's like, she can hit me first.
You know what happened though? John never fucking slapped me again.
Yeah.
No, kids learn.
And
real quick.
and like I said, it wasn't hard. It wasn't a
To
like,
this
I
day, his
wasn't like,
nose is slightly crooked.
yeah. No, I just gave him a little fucking boop because he gave me a boop, and he never hit me again.
And I think it goes back to like what you said. Like, there's a line of like discipline and abuse, right? Like that's you fucking hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. I had a friend. His nephew bit him. Like, it's like bit him. He goes, bit her back. He goes, how'd you like it? She never bit him ever again.
My fucking my grandmother, who's now currently 92.
Yeah.
Old German lady, right? She fucking did that to me apparently when I was like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You bite her again?
I bit her. She bit me back, and my mother was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I don't remember this. Obviously, I was 2, but like I never bit her back.
Yep. There you go. So I mean, even with my kids, like we try to do our best to discipline through action and just tell them like, hey, like it's not okay, and lead by example. And so far it's working good. He's 10 and he has ADHD, and he's hyper focused on things, right? So right now he loves aviation, he loves Jiu Jitsu, and if he doesn't get an opportunity to actually grab somebody and throw and fight, he just has that, that testosterone young teenager where he's like, man, I got my hair all popped. I need 2 chains, not 1. I need the new dunks. I'm like, dog, you ain't getting all that shit. Like, you gotta work, do some laundry. So going to that. And there's no pamphlet to fucking raise kids, right? So
God, I wish there was.
yeah, you tell me.
Well, there's
that would be cool.
actually.
What'd you say?
No, I said that would be cool if there were pamphlets.
Yeah.
This is a pamphlet. It's like, do this. This is
I
great.
think the problem is there's 10,000 of them, and they all say different shit.
Yeah. Your parents do something, and then you're like, I don't want to do that to my kid.
They're
ever. And then you don't do that, and then they're like, I'm going to do that to my kid.
You know what?
We're in a
What the
constant
fuck?
like pendulum of
Literally, it's
overcorrection.
just a pendulum.
They're always written by people that don't have fucking kids is the weird part to me. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I will say this.
Alan agrees.
Alan knows.
There was one family friend that she did something to her daughter that I regret. I should have done it. I don't regret it. Right? I love my daughter. I said, damn, my daughter keeps coming up. My kids keep coming out of the goddamn room every night when I put them to bed. We do bath time. We do story time. We do, food time. Everything's good. We did everything by the book as we read it. But they keep coming out of the fucking room. And then I asked my friend, I was like, man, how'd you get your kids stop coming around? He goes, how about the fucking ass? So you come out this room, you get your kick. And it was more along the line of abuse. It wasn't discipline. That motherfucker never came out of the room ever again.
Because daddy's a monster at night. Have you ever went in there? Scary ass monster. You just chase your kid on. You're just like, that kid will never leave that backward
fucking crab walking toward your kid.
Kid will never go in your room again.
But he did. He said, that's what I did. And
The fucking
he
exorcist.
came out. Never came out again.
Ever. No. It's terror in there.
I don't know, that's one of the parallels I made between policing and having a kid. It's like with John. Like I could go up to him and be like, "Hey, you're not going to do that again, right?"
And then if he did, you tased him.
Yeah. Bro, I pepper sprayed John like several times.
Have you?
No.
You're like, all right, son, I told you. Get ready.
He's questioning his friendship. He's like,
John, when did we talk about closing your eyes?
"I'll see you,
Wide
John."
open. Wide open. hey, like I said,
Here comes the choo-choo.
That's
So back to anime.
oh yeah, it's about the anime. But that's fucked up that they did that to him.
Yeah, we were talking about Shinzo Abe.
Shinzo
Yeah.
Abe.
That's fucked
But
up.
my thing, like, I don't hate it. I've never been a big anime person, but like I said,
He
like,
gets hooked on some. I get him
I
on.
do,
I get
yeah.
him on those ones.
He got
where
me
it's-
on. He got me on Solo Leveling. He got me on Attack on Titan.
Have you,
I
read,
love that.
have you watched Berserk yet?
No, that's the next one. That's the one
Okay.
you're
Oh,
pushing
Eli,
hard.
tell us about Berserk, Eli.
That is king of anime.
Is that only
I've
one
already
of your
committed. I'm going to
fucking-
start it.
So we're gonna have him watch.
I want him to watch the 98. I think 98, or if you read it, if you start at the Golden Age, I want the eclipse to come out of nowhere for him. And he's like, what the fuck? Because I get a text from all my friends when they hit that and they're like,
Oh yeah.
yo, f- this dude. I'm like, right. That is the betrayal at the utmost level.
Don't say much.
I know, I won't.
I won't remember fuck all
Berserk
about any of
is
this.
just-
This means nothing to me right now.
Yeah.
It's the hardest. It's the best story. He is an anti-hero, but he is the best character development because you know why he hates people. Like from his childhood, you're like, homeboy had a
Oh, is
rough
this the
life.
super one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one. Yeah, if you get, that's probably like my all-time favorite. Berserk. Like I watched it. I can't remember who got me into it. So I was like, oh man, watch Berserk. I was like, okay, I'm watching. I'm starting to watching it, and next thing you know, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, look at the front and the back. I'm like, this motherfucker. Okay, all right.
Did you read it?
I did read it. I watched the 3-part series, so I didn't get introduced to it.
Oh, you did the movie series.
I did the movie
Netflix.
series.
Oh,
the
still
Netflix, right?
really- they still did really good. I
They did
think.
good at that. And then I watched the Crunchyroll version where it goes like Cascades, like,
Yeah.
I can't remember what that arc is called. I watched that one, and then you see.
There's like multiple tellings of the same story. Or
Yes. They have the 98 version is more true to the manga, but they left out stuff, and then the movies actually added stuff that was left out. But the movies, I think, do a really good job of just like a condensed version of the Golden Age arc.
Yes.
And then the manga goes way past that. They just never adapted it to
They
anime.
stopped. They did like I think 2 more arcs
They
or 3
just
more
did
arcs.
trash for They
It
just
was
did the
fucking
worst
horrible. Like the
garbage.
CGI was just straight trash.
Really?
And then eventually, that's when I started reading the manga, and I read all through the manga to the very last manga. Then he died, and then
Fuckhead. I've been reading this shit since 98, and homeboy died a few years ago, and I knew he died because my phone was just like, ugh. Everyone was like, Eli, did you hear? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, dude.
Just like it's similar. It's similar circumstance with you with that. I said that when Jimmy Buffett died, I'm like, damn, that was like 9/11 to white people with a boat.
that was their night.
No. That was when Dale Earnhardt died.
Very close.
3 lefts and a right.
Wait, where were you?
Jesus Christ. Dude,
The one wall white people don't like.
Oh no.
dude, it was like Berserk.
He's like, I'm just gonna eat an egg real quick.
What?
Alan, where were you when Dale Earnhardt died?
When the world stopped turning.
You don't know? Ah, fuck, I thought for sure you'd know.
I was hunting somewhere. All right.
God, but it was Berserk, fucking pinnacle of anime, especially character development. And then what are your? They've watched Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan was good. It got a little weird at the end. I didn't like it.
The last season was fucking kind of weird.
Yeah, season
The last half of season.
Season 1, season 2 was amazing. Season 3 was amazing. And then season 4 just fucking went the whole different way. And
I didn't mind it, but like the ending was not bad, but very fucking weird.
yeah, I just felt like the beginning of 1 and 2, season 1, season 2, it's like us against them. Like,
Yeah.
and then why are we here? Why do the Titans exist? And then who is, the armor Titan? Who's a colossal Titan? Then 3, you kind of understand it. Then Zeke comes out. You see his brother.
Oh, he's a nerd.
And so then you see all the fighting, and he goes, Nanda, then you see like all my then they all start fighting. It's like, this is fucking peak right here. And then it's like, then you see Aaron going a whole tangent, just change.
I just don't think they explained it as well as I hoped.
So
I
it
agree.
was supposed to have a dark. It was supposed to change. It was supposed to have a dark ass ending. It did. It was not supposed to do that good. So the artist was like, "Hey, you have to make this go."
We're keeping
it.
the spoiler free, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
already been out. It's already been out. So
but it was still, he was supposed to, like, by season, I think 3 is when they were like, hey, this has to keep going. This is doing really good.
Yeah.
He was like, what? So he had to change the ending. If I'm
Really?
Yeah, he had to change the entire story because it was supposed to have a very dark ending.
It had a dark ass ending.
It had a way darker ending.
Yeah, that ending wasn't dark. Like I met him in Japan and I was talking to him.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I talked to him. And he look at him.
I'm
like
jealous.
these degenerate
Bro,
assholes.
you're talking like if you want proof of your fucking humility.
You
Is
just
that
met
you
the
didn't
artist. Oh.
you didn't open with that while we're talking about it?
Oh, that's okay.
So wait, is this true? Like, was it supposed? This is what I heard back in 2017, 18.
So it's very common for that to happen because it happened with Dragon Ball Z. Because after the Frieza saga,
Yeah, Toriyama.
He was like,
he
I'm
loaded
done.
the spirit bomb for like
Yeah, like
7
he's-
years. 3 seasons of him just fucking.
Yeah. So
It's so
it was supposed to end after the Frieza saga. He was, I'm done. Like I don't want. That's why the saga was so fucking long, right? And he was, I was supposed to end, and then he came back. Did what was after Frieza? It was the Android saga, the
yes,
Cell,
Android Cell,
and then
right.
it went Majin, the Babidi, the Majin Buu, and all that stuff. But then that's when it finally fucking
Krillin's
hit.
banging a robot.
Then Dragon Ball
Android
GT
clothes.
was picked up by somebody else, totally different. But with Attack on Titan, when I met him, he was talking like, it's like my prized possession. What he really wants to do is he's taking all the money he made from that and he's opening a very high-end wash house, a wash house for you go
Your
there.
face when he said that was fucking. It was just like the white guy gif, like.
Yeah. And at the time, he said the story was already done. He was like, it's done. Like, when I met him, this was back in 2019. He was like, the story's done. Like, I've had it done. I'm just not going to release it. I have to release it, how we do it. And it's set in stone. He didn't really elaborate on, like, what the ending was going to be, but he was like, it's done. I'm already done. I'm just chilling and slowly releasing. He goes, and I have to draw it out. Like, the verbiage-wise, it's already done, but actual, like, drawing it hasn't been completely finished yet. He's got some Jack and Coke for you, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Trout.
Thank you, Trey.
So, dude, are you like Hunter x Hunter? Are you big into like?
I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter.
Bro, oh my fucking god!
I
What?
should leave now, right?
Yeah. What? Really?
Haven't watched-
You're gonna. Dude,
I thought you were going to fight Eli. Eli's going to fight you.
Yeah. Now you just. I'm like, what? Dude, if you watch Hunter x Hunter, that's going to be one of your top animes.
Really?
Period. I promise you. I will get a text from you after you watch it and be like, "Yo, this is like top 5
Okay.
ever."
Bet.
No, it's
was the
pretty
other one?
fucking gay, dude. Like,
As one of the top
the
freakouts,
other
like
one?
top freakouts, top 3. Gone.
Really?
Gone. Top 3,
Hunter x Hunter.
period.
I've been hearing a lot of Hunter x Hunter, and I know, like, typically, like, I like the dark, like, Berserk style.
Hunter
I
x
like where you're going with this.
Oh, really? Hunter x Hunter, right? All right, well, fuck
Dude,
it.
this
There it
is, you're gonna go. I've told the guys before. It's like for 15, 16 episodes, it's very kids. You're like, this is fucking stupid. This is gay. This is kids anime. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, and he's known for this, everyone starts dying. Like, people just fucking start getting murdered. And you're like, hey, this is great.
What was the other one? Like fucking
goddamn
Jiu Jitsu
pickles.
Kaisen, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't drink Busch.
Oh, come
Do
on.
you read the anime
Yeah, I'm all cut of the date.
or manga?
The manga, yeah, I'm all cut of the date.
See, I still gotta do
No,
it.
Not
this is
even
the Busch.
one? Just me?
I'm gonna tell you why I don't drink Busch.
Okay.
Okay,
Because you have taste.
that is the main thing. I went
Now
fishing.
me and Nick are gonna fight.
This is just a cycle of
I
beating
went
the shit
fishing
out of
with my
each other.
buddy, right? He goes, oh man, what you go out fishing
If
with
you
me?
got so drunk you puked, I'll
No,
allow
you're gonna
it.
laugh. Well, you might not laugh, right? You go,
Oh, nice party foul. Party foul.
My mic ruined this for me. I'll blame my mic.
Are you ready? Babe, let's bring out Big Daddy.
Love that idea.
Who wants better sex?
What'd you do with my wife?
Don't worry about that. She's fine. The best way to get started is by going to adamandeve.com. Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just about every item, and that includes free shipping plus rush processing.
Where is she?
Didn't I already tell you that she's fine? Adam and Eve wants to make your life easy. Plus 100% free shipping and rush processing on your entire order.
What?
It doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy, all of it will be sent discreetly, fast, and to you for free.
Why do you keep doing this?
Bring more pleasure and satisfaction into your bedroom.
Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter offer code UNSUB at checkout.
That's unsub, UNSUB, at adamandeve.com.
This discount is specific to this podcast, so be sure to use code UNSUB at checkout.
100% off free shipping and get it fast with rush processing.
Code UNSUB.
So anyway, while we're talking about alcoholism, why?
Yeah, go on.
So we go fishing. I go fishing with my buddy. And we go out there like 4 a.m. in the morning. And he's out there. He's in his waders. He's out there fishing the Pew River. He's out there fishing. And he pulls out. He goes, "Hey, man, you want a beer?" I said, "No, man, it's like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I need a beer." You know, I just had, my 5-course meal, whatnot.
You're fishing.
And he pulls, I don't give a fuck. He pulls out
Dude, while you're fishing, that's like airport time. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. You can drink.
Yeah, and he pulls out Pabst.
PBR ribbon?
PBR. Pabst ribbon PBR. And I go,
fucking, that's Washington booze.
Yeah, he hands it to me. He was, you want one?
You
I'm
get a
like,
banjo with every purchase. Like,
yeah. He handed it to me and I said, "Man," I was like, "You poor?" I was like, "What are you drinking that weak ass beer?" I was like, so that's why I look right there. I was like, that's just, what's that? Oh, Jesus Christ. You must drink water.
Let's go.
Busch.
You think you shotgun one faster?
The guy,
You're fast. Are you faster at that?
No, I'm not.
Let's do it.
I'll pass.
White Claw.
Look, you're underestimating the important part. I only get one chance in my life to shotgun a beer with Demetrious Johnson.
I will shot.
I would take a shot of something.
I'm gonna guilt trip you.
Do you want to do a shot?
Do you have what do you have? Do you have tequila?
Everything.
Yeah, we got
everything you
We are
want.
fucking
Tequila, vodka.
Do you have
Finish the
1942
sentence,
Don
Eli.
Julio?
I think we have.
We got the one where you slap the top and it rings a bell.
Oh, I'll do that one. That's a Casa Azul.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is this what we're shooting? As a bell? Have you seen this one?
I think so. That's what he said.
Is that a bong?
Tequila.
I think those steaks are gonna be overdone. By the way, just
No,
Oh, hey.
I'm feeling it.
I was gonna ask you: Is ONE FC the organization that has a different weigh-in procedure?
Yes. So
I was gonna ask you if you liked it more or less.
I like it more, to be honest with you. I think when it comes to the athletes, the health and safety of the athletes, also
What's the procedure, sorry?
So you have the normal procedure, which is done in America, where you can cut weight as much as you want, and you can weigh in, dehydrate or whatnot. One championship, they make you weigh in hydrated. So, for example,
It's like right before the fight.
well, no, it's a day before the fight, but if you're hydrated, you're not dehydrated, right? So I typically walk around 150 pounds now, and if I was to cut to 135, I would have to diet down and be hydrated and weigh in at 135 hydrated, and they test the gravity of your urine. That's where they know.
Oh, no shit. Oh,
That's how they
Yeah.
know whether or not you're hydrated.
Yes, exactly.
That's wild.
Super healthy, actually.
Yeah,
so you're not dying.
So you're not
to
dying,
death.
and it's good for the brain too. You have a lot more fluid around your brain when you're competing.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Like CTE, it helps a lot when your
Yes.
brain isn't dehydrated the entire time.
Absolutely.
Like-
So I like the procedure. It's good for the athletes, and there's no reason for me when I was kind of 130, when I was kind of 125, I was fucking.
Oh God, dude, how were you feeling? Like those are the ones where you're like, this is dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but I did it right. But it still fucking sucks. Like when you're, there's not a lot of meat on you to lose to begin with. So it's like you're cutting muscle, you're cutting everything out, and then you're just fucking going on fumes at that point.
Yeah.
I got really lucky on that because for my fight, we were starting to dehydrate that morning. Like Eli was again like my coach. Like everything I ate, drank, shat, whatever he fucking knew, and he was just like, okay, this is the last meal you're gonna have.
Yep.
This is your last meal. You can't drink anything. You can't do anything. Like whole 9 yards. That morning, we were fucking sweating shit out.
And you walked in and you were like, done. Dude, he pooped and he was making what I was like,
He's like,
so
done.
funny.
We literally we did a prelim weight or whatever, like just to test it to see, because I was expecting to have to sit there on the treadmill with the trash bag, like that whole shit. Walked in, I was already a pound underweight. And I was
Nice.
like, oh,
We're good to go.
Dude, still my favorite thing. The day before the fight, I was having him do the pendulum bag.
Oh
and
yeah.
punch.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Eli, look, I can punch offline.
Yeah.
I can punch offline. I can
It was our first time doing the pendulum.
Yeah.
I know that was great for the mic. Like it was our first time trying that, and then about an hour into it, you're like, this is like super fucking important. About an hour in, I'm like, I think I can like jab while I'm offline. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
What won the fight?
He literally won the fight because the dude would jab and Brandon was like, just hit him every time the dude would punch. I was like, oh, thank God.
Thank you. No, I would.
Here you go. I didn't shotgun a beer with you, but I did take a shot with you guys.
Good enough. What is this?
Same going.
Cody.
Cody.
What's up?
We're doing a shot.
A shot?
You're doing a shot with...
Is there a shot over there?
Yes, we're doing a shot.
Do you have a shot for me?
Yes.
Well, he came and took your spot, so we
That's fine.
Cody insisted I take his spot. I said no. I got
We're
scared.
gonna get another shot, right?
Oh, yeah.
With the
I'm only doing one. That's it.
Oh, we're doing one. That trust me, same, bro.
for
now.
He's fence working on it.
For now.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that.
Hey,
Your-
oh, dude. I think
your necklace is messed up.
Is it?
Yeah.
I do it to the kids all the fucking time. I'm like, hey, you got some there, so you got me on my like. The Jiu Jitsu kids, the karma.
The eye of Sauron just went on you right now.
I know. He's beating all of us up. Like,
Cheers.
hey, dude.
gents.
Fuck yeah, everyone get in here. Get in the middle.
Hey, to good friends.
To
Great
good friends.
Dude, great friends, dude.
This is what puts me over.
Cody's
So-
getting an Uber.
God, that is good.
Have you watched much of his content at all, Brandon's?
I have not.
Okay, so do you have any like particular gun you're excited to shoot?
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger?
Yep.
Oh,
Dope.
we got that.
That's
Yeah.
my dream
I got
gun.
it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I was actually kind of surprised by that. Yeah, Cody.
Wait, that was that's your dream
That's
gun?
delicious.
You make
Well,
that happen.
tell you what.
We have to
another-
take him to.
What time are we going to the range tomorrow?
Early,
How early?
9 or
5:30.
10.
Oh.
Cody,
Okay,
he
so
has to
10
fly
so
out
10
at 4.
All right, we'll do
So if you want to go right before, it doesn't matter. Where are you staying?
I have to go look my itinerary. I think it's the Hilton, maybe. I'm not sure.
Is it by like the Rim? I would assume.
Burn. Oh, you're at the
Okay.
nice little
it.
hotel.
The white.
Okay.
What's it called?
If you want to go to the
The
shop
Batty.
early before that, not
Show's the
early, but
best.
like right before. I literally have a firearm, like it's a manufacturing facility, and we have an arms library of basically any gun you could think of, anything from Call of Duty, whatever, like anything from history. We have an arms library of literally over 1,000 firearms. If you want to pick out like what you want, or you just want to tell us what you want to shoot, we'll bring it out.
And what Al wants.
Wanna go look.
You got like a gun from history that you want to shoot, Al?
Not with me, but
Well, no,
you
not
don't
that,
need
no,
it
I
with
mean
you.
that you've ever wanted to shoot. Like,
well, I gotta be real careful because I just had surgeries.
oh, okay.
How about like
okay.
a Thompson or an MP40 or an MG42? Like,
I'd like to look.
Yeah. He's gonna get there and goes, I'll take that one. Can we shoot this one too? You got the ammo for that? Yeah, I think for me, like Honey Badger has always been one because it's super light. And I've seen videos on it and it's like the 300 blackout, you know. I own an AR, I own a CC Scorpion, I own some pistols. And I think MP9 would be dope. I'm trying to think of all the guns I use in Escape from Tarkov now.
Oh, I got a TP9.
oh, by the way,
TP9?
oh, I can't.
MP9. It's
MP9,
Yeah, we got one.
Pretty
Yeah.
much most of the Tarkov guns we have, the UMP45, MP5, like
MP5K.
every, yeah.
I got my Uwu pink anime girl gun.
Yes.
It's my hog gun. It's killed so many hogs. It's like 100+ hogs.
So you guys
And
hunt
it's just
hogs
how
out here
people-
too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you
Oh,
do
yeah.
that?
Helicopter, however,
Who flies?
NVGs.
Who flies a helicopter?
Our buddy.
Depends on who's had the least. I only had 4 beers, so I'll be the pilot tonight. This is your captain speaking. We've reached the cruising BAC for the afternoon.
Well, I didn't know hunting hogs out here was super popular because Kevin Holland lives out here. And I was trying to get him, I was talking to him. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I haven't been getting back to you. I'm out here hunting. And he's out in the middle of the fucking night and it's like ATV. And I'm like, the fuck you hunting? And I'm like, my father goes, he's probably hunting hogs, dude. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, Yeah, that sounds dope.
Yeah, because they're a invasive species. They're a nuisance out here. You can light them up and not feel bad about it.
Well, that's when he told me about that, and I'm like, because he's all about hunting, right? I went hunting when I was a kid, and my buddy, he was big into hunting, and he shot this fucking duck like the duck done robbed his house. Like how he shot that duck. I was like, oh my god, I was like, cool, you did that.
Did you have to yell slurs at it while you were mag dumping it in the fucking dirt? Like,
no,
Jesus Christ.
like I was sitting there because, once again, like I haven't met my father-in-law yet, so I was very terrified of guns. And next thing you know, we're walking and we're going along these banks or whatever, or these divots, and he's looking for the duck, and he gets there and the duck takes off. He's like fucking Duck Hunt on Nintendo, and he shoots it, and the duck goes. Then he runs up on the fucking duck, and the duck's like trying to get its wits, and the duck gets up, and takes off, and he goes boom, and just fucking lands. And then I grabbed the duck. I held it in my hands, and the duck's neck was like kind of laying like this. And it just died in my arms. And ever since then, I was, just...
Couldn't hunt no more?
Meanwhile, he rips it out of your hands, fucking raises its neck.
I know. Look, man, we have drastically different...
Oh, so my son Maverick, he recently went hunting with my father-in-law. He shot a buffalo?
No, we shot a damn elk.
Oh, shot an elk. My bad shit. hey, you know us,
damn elk.
Hey, you know us black folks can't tell the difference between the fucking animals, the deer, elk, buffalo, whatever it may be.
It all just looks like nah.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, like shooting that damn elk, it's like Jesus Christ. Like that was me and
Still
Cody's
a
like
large
best
animal.
Me and Cody's best hunting experience of our lives, and he's just like, oh, it's just a damn elk.
Alan, scoot closer. Scoot closer. Good sus. Closer.
Here, Alan.
Get in there.
That's good.
Make love to that mic.
Oh, I'm out.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to use that much tongue, Alan.
Anyways, we were just using Demetrious to get you here. How are you doing?
He's like, he's a cool guy. That guy's an asshole.
No, so we're friends with Kevin.
Brittingham.
Yeah, Brittingham. He actually made the 300 Blackout and the Honey Badger.
He was telling me. He said he has by his night.
We have to all have to go out and meet. Dude, Kevin's one of the most OGs. We have him trashed at the local bar here. He is like our rich friend, and then we get him shit right. Kevin loves to party.
He fell asleep in the back of my Raptor, dude. Like he's like, I was just fucking taking a nap real quick, and just like in the back of my fucking truck in the parking lot. I'm like, is this actually happening right now?
Kevin's just like,
Well, I was showing DJ the picture that I have of Kevin Brittingham laying in my bed with my bedside gun, which is a honey badger.
yeah, we have a Honey
come full
Badger
circle.
sugar. I have the Q minifig.
I want a boom box.
We're getting
I want a
boom
boom box
boxes.
so fucking
Boom
Me?
box.
What's
like
a boom
me
box?
too?
So
We all-
so do you know?
yeah.
Have you
This
heard
is the
about
best
the
round in the world.
8.6 blackout?
No.
It's 300
300
blackout, but
blackouts.
for 308.
Yeah.
It's a big motherfucker,
Oh,
but
that's-
super subsonic.
Also, blow shit up when it hits.
Which is just a life hack for energy for still being subsonic below 1,000 feet per second or so.
Wow. We're talking. I was like, when we were talking about the SWAT guy who shot that guy with 308, and my father was like, "That's a 7.62 round." And I was like, "That's a big fucking round,
big boy round
to go through." And I was talking to my father, and I was like, "Man, what'd you think about me using the AR for home defense?" I was like, "It's a big fucking gun, but it's going to stop." So he goes, "You're going to put holes in the motherfucker. Like that bullet's going to go in him and go out and go somewhere else." So he was like, 9mm is all you need.
Unless you use a different kind of ammo. Yeah, if you use fringe or...
Oh
yeah, you could fuck somebody up.
Yeah,
with it.
well, I was asking
right
him,
ammo.
He was like, "You don't want to use 5.56. Use your CZ Scorpion." I'm still waiting on my fucking can, by the way. Sound Central, send that shit. Well, it's not them. It's a.
He's worried about making fucking noise when intruders in the house.
At the end of the
we
day,
don't want
I
that.
want to be able to file.
Dude,
I want to be able to
fucking shoot him.
I want to be able to fill out a police report without.
Sam knows unfortunately we have 4 bedside guns now. So we have like my 2 300 blackouts. I have my shorty, and then my my other shorty, and then she has the 12 gauge, which is just slug. I'm like, babe, if I don't knock right, just shoot the door multiple times.
So you got a sight.
But my
It's
gun,
me coming over at night.
I don't know.
Hey, Eli, I forgot my camera. What's up?
Cody's dead.
I get shot through the fucking door.
But like my gun won't wake
And you won't know which one to use.
That's how it should be.
because he
I
can't
think it's good, right? Like,
That's America to me, you know.
I'm with Alan. No silencer.
No, Alex,
You're gonna be in court after the fact though. But did you hear him say no? Please stop. No, I didn't. All I heard was after the first round. I didn't hear shit. Actually,
So the new thing, like
Alan, did you know you get less time in prison for sexually assaulting the person, breaking into your house, than killing them?
I'm going to jail.
We take off Demetrious mic, just put it on.
I'm so glad we're bringing it to range today.
This man is amazing. You're the best father-in-law ever.
Oh,
You're
he's
so
amazing.
lucky.
He's amazing. He said, come here, let me show you something. Let me teach me something real quick. He goes, how you choke a motherfucker out? And I said, well, what you want to do
Let
is
me
take
tell
you-
the story.
Okay, you want to tell the story, goddamn. Go ahead.
They come up to the house one time for a holiday or something. I said, so DJ, how's this fucking rear naked choke thing work? So he takes my arm, puts it around his neck, and I locked it in, and he's like, and I went, and my daughter's going, Dad! I'm just letting him know. Just letting him know. I tapped this motherfucker out.
Yeah. I just fucking hard before I was on the ground. I was like, tap, tap, tap. And again, he goes, just so you know who the champ is, okay?
This is my house.
And he got in his fucking chair and rocked back and forth, just like this.
It's my fucking house.
I can't remember the first time I came over. I remember I had my my Honda Civic, and there was a barbecue, and then it was great. And then he came up, and the only thing he said to me, he looked at my because he remember like. Remember, but you don't remember. But when I met him, it was like, think about it. Like if you have a daughter, it's like another guy coming to the house.
Oh yeah,
another guy coming to the house, right? And I remember it was all chill. Then he looked at my tires, and my tires were bald as shit. And he goes, "I'm gonna change those tires, bub," and kicked the tires and just walked in. Other than that, it was great.
Look out for my girl.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's amazing.
You know you got to change the filter in your furnace, right?
How's that filter going?
You gotta change the batteries in your smoke detector.
I actually just changed those fucking things. They just went off. It was annoying.
And he brings up his daughter. His daughter runs the house. I mean, just like her mama. You know?
Is the daughter the
That's
youngest?
a
or the
mini
middle?
me from the
She's
word
youngest.
go. And now he never understood with the boys the relationship I have with my daughter.
Yep.
But he gets it now. Because that girl can have anything. Even she knows it. And
So-
if daddy don't jump when she says daddy, he's catching hell.
So it sounds like you were pretty instrumental in getting him to jump on doing MMA full time. Did you know that at the time, or did you
Well,
have
it all started when I made that comment. It's pouring down rain. And he says, you do this shit every day? I said, every day. So it was EFD from
that day
point
forward,
on.
like I went to the gym.
EFD is such a
Yeah.
good. I love EFD. That's like the best terminology ever.
Every day.
Even one of our guys, our strength and conditioning coach, he was like EFD every fucking because he's worked with Seattle Seahawks athletes. He's worked with so many different athletes, and he's like every fucking day. Now he runs a HRV Morpheus thing, and now like he just bought a helicopter. He goes, I make way more money creating courses for people, how to teach them how to train, how to recover, than training all the best athletes in the world. And so, but he was like EFD, and that's where the slogan came from. Was him. He was like every fucking day, and I'm like every day I'm in the gym, pushing weight, pushing my heart rate, training, fighting, grappling. So
Are you selling courses yet?
no, sir, I'm not.
Like why? Don't call me sir, dude.
Sorry. I don't want to.
You can make so much money.
I feel like even if it was just like a BJJ
like that-
Fanatics on the transition from MMA to gi jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think down the road we might, but I'm so focused on YouTube and the Mighty Cast that's like where my heart is.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like if I'm gonna do anything, I want to put my heart into it. I want to be my full self, full attention. And I think if I try to do too many things, one would slack, and I don't want that.
Have you interviewed?
Real quick, I feel like
Alan?
I feel like that's a patch. Like, don't call me sir, dude.
Yeah.
Bro.
We're gonna have so many
dude.
clips of fucking. Demetrious saluting our hero, Brandon Herrera.
I'm about to be the 23rd, dude.
So veteran of you.
What did you think at first about the cage fighting thing when it was like new?
He was excellent. You know, the dedication, nobody sees behind the scenes. This man is so fucking dedicated to his training, to his success. I mean, it's just there. Nobody sees, I can't eat that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. I can't eat this. I can't go here. Can't do this. It's just the discipline and the dedication and the effort. He didn't tell you that he drives 2 fucking hours to train. Each way.
Dude.
Each way. You know, traffic that when I do gutters there, I charge people an arm and a leg. I don't want to go up there. And he does it twice a day, every day. And he says it gives me that time to just focus on me and what I'm doing. And
we've said this multiple times on the podcast. It's like it's the amount of sacrifice you're willing to do to get where you want to be. Because a lot of people, I fucking despise the phrase. It's like, I don't have time to do that. It's like, if you work a 9 to 5, a 7 to 3, you have the fucking time to do anything. If this dude is getting a world championship fight while working a
full-time job,
9 to 5, shut the fuck up on you don't have time to do something. This is what sacrifice is. It is, I'm going to make the time to be extraordinary, and I'm going to figure out a way to make that possible. That is how I'm going to get in the position of life you are. And then when your father-in-law is so like he is, you're proud of him.
You bet your ass. He is the best human being that I've ever met. Humble. He's a good husband, a great father. And couldn't ask for a better son-in-law. You know, I mean,
oh, dude, you're gonna make me tear up. Like hearing that shit kill me. I'm fucking dying over here.
I don't tell him that, but I tell everybody else. He knows that.
He was like, "You are such a dumb motherfucker."
He goes,
"No, I'm saying that." He goes, "The greatest man ever known."
Meanwhile, they bickered the whole flight here.
That's something we've never done. Because he respects me and I respect him, and he has never done anything dishonorable to my daughter, any of the kids, anybody in the family. He would help anybody, anywhere, anytime. If they needed a hand and they reached out, he would pull them out of any mess they were in. And you can't ask for more than that.
Hi, Eli. I'm here to talk about TACPACK.
TACPACK is a monthly subscription service full of professional-grade gear from a bunch of different brands.
Don't hurt me.
TACPACK comes with equipment from Radiant, Reptilia, Battle Arms Development, plus cool merch.
That was a T-Rex.
TACPACK has 2 main tiers, Standard and Plus. Standard costs $59.95 and typically has a value of $90 to $120. Plus costs $139.95 shipped and typically has a value of $240 to $300.
$300?
That's right, Eli. Plus, new subscribers can use code UNSUB at checkout to get a freebie grab bag valued at $60 or more.
That's code UNSUB for your $60 free tactical freebie.
Just remember to sign up before the end of June to get this awesome box.
I'll never leave you.
I've come to that realization.
Dude, it's so awesome to see everything you guys like have accomplished. You like it speaks magnitudes of your person when your father-in-law is like, hey, this dude kicks ass. He's a father. He's a son-in-law, like everything, and he's amazing at it. So fucking dude.
He's an honorable human being, and that's, you don't get any better than that. I mean, if he was like one of them mouse yapping over here, I'd have trouble having him over.
No, and for me, like, he's done so much in my life, not just as a father, a father-in-law, but a father figure. You know, for me, for the longest time, like I said, I didn't know my father until I hit 30 years old. And so I've been with my wife since 21. So there's been a long time that I've looked up to him for a lot of things. And not just, that, but just understanding, like, how life works. And, like, the guns was a huge thing, firearms and how the world worked and, like, how, stupidity. And, like, I'll ask him stupid-ass questions. I'm like, why is it like that? He goes, because people are fucking stupid, DJ. That's
That old man knowledge.
Yeah, old man knowledge. But see, I see it as wisdom, right?
Yep.
Because at one point in time, the world was a certain way, right? And he turned out okay. He's a good man, right? Like he raised his daughter, right? And so I feel like our world's trying to get away from that. Old school is like, oh, you don't want to mow the fucking lawn? Go inside and get my belt. I'm gonna whoop your ass long enough till you want to mow the lawn, right? So I feel like I learned a lot from him, and I love him for it dearly, and he knows that. And yeah, man, it's a good time.
And you never had, Destiny told me many years ago, she goes, Dad, you know, you never had to spank me. And I said, I never did. She goes, that didn't mean that I didn't believe you weren't gonna.
Yeah.
You know, because you had that look. And the way you talk to me, you look me in the eye and you say, don't do that again.
Like
I
said,
knew
John,
I wasn't going to do
I'm not going to do that again,
are you? You don't have to do it, but you got to make them believe that you're certainly going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Alan, what gun are we shooting tomorrow? Have you shot a machine gun?
Yes. Spent 4 years in the Marine Corps.
Oh,
last time I was going to say Eli.
What?
I was expecting his answer to be, last time I did it was out of anger.
What was your service weapon? M14?
Yes.
Hey, we got that fucking Mm-hmm.
So in Washington, it was funny because when who was in fucking office and you were worried about all the ammo was going to go away? Who was that? I don't know who it was. I think it was probably Obama.
Yeah.
It was Obama. Every fucking day after he get done work, he'd go, hey man, I'm gonna stop by Walters, or I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna stop by.
Right after like Sandy Hook. Yeah, the ammo.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So when there was gonna be like an ammo like shortage, he would stop by every day and grab a case of fucking ammo every day. He goes, "You want to pick you up?"
Smart man.
I'm like, "Sure, pick me up somewhere." I got all this ammo at my house. I'm like, "Oh, who are we getting ready for? You know something I don't know."
And then COVID hit, and you're like, Alan's just fucking bleeding off ammo.
Let me know if you run low.
Homeboys in the strip club throwing 5.56 at the strippers.
I would tell him, I said, Alan, why you got all this fucking ammo? He goes, you never know. He goes, there's a shortage, and I don't want to have to gun somebody down, and I ain't got enough ammo. You want some or not? I'm like, grab me a couple, okay? Love you, bye. I'll never forget that.
That's fucking hilarious. No, that was the way it was like after Sandy Hook, like because like ammo was available, you just couldn't like
buy it.
Yeah, you if you went to Bass Pro, it's like everything was off the shelves. Like you just had to like be there early enough and shit like that.
On the day they put it out.
Yeah.
And then you can only have 2 boxes.
Yeah.
Everybody was fucking worried about
with 2 boxes.
Well, and then
I want to kill more than 100 people. No.
And then it came a point in time where like I think it was like 30 round magazines were. What's it now? Like 30 rounds are. It's only 10 now, right?
In Washington.
Washington, yeah. Yes. Washington, it was like 30.
Wild.
It's only 30. Like, I remember right before it happened, like, I got a 45 round magazine, I had a 30 round magazine, and then now it's like, you're lucky if you get a fucking 10 round magazine. And so it just changed completely in Washington State, where now, like, when I got my suppressor for my AR, I was like, oh shit, I finally got it. And then now that's why I don't think my suppressor for my CC Scorpion has got there, because I think the laws have changed in Washington State, and that's why it hasn't got there.
For reference, when I had my CCW in Washington State, all you needed was fingerprints. No test, no nothing. You would walk in.
Man, I live in Iowa. It's constitutional carry. We knew where the
same with Texas, motherfucker.
Yeah, Texas.
Iowa's got better gun
Utah,
laws.
Yeah.
You're probably right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. Iowa and Indiana both
He's
do.
like, I got a fucking bazooka. Watch this.
Hey, listen here.
Texas has more room than Iowa.
That's fair.
Man, I really fucking like Allie.
We've got less people to hit on accident, damn it.
Well, I don't know. I've been to Iowa, but
we got like 17 people and some cows. It's awesome.
and 3 of them speak English.
That's right.
The cows?
And I'm glad you brought Alan, dude. This is
the best people in the world. God damn it, dude.
Now, I went to a fight up in Montreal with him, and this one really blew me away. There's a lot of French-speaking people up there.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Gross. Hey, don't say the C word, dude.
And you go into the washroom up there in Montreal, and evidently that must be the chat room, because every time I went in there, somebody else would come in and they want to chat. I'm not in there for that. I came in here with a purpose.
What branch of the military were you in?
Marine Corps.
That adds up. I'm in here to piss with a purpose.
He stands at parade rest when he pisses.
Just locked.
I have a real good buddy that's retired Navy, right? Super guy. We banter back and forth like you could. I mean, if you've been in the military, you've been.
Oh yeah.
And so I was at a Friends of the NRA banquet over in Idaho, and I'm gonna show you this picture because this is a Navy urinal.
You're basically looking at his fucking eye and it's interference.
You have to send me that because I have to put that on the podcast. That has to pop up on the podcast.
He was Navy.
What years were you in?
75.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
oh, thank you so much. What's your name again? I forget.
Demetrious. I'm sorry.
Destiny come down to a fight because I was going with DJ to a lot of fights because she had the babies, right?
Yeah.
So she comes to a fight with me, and all the UFC officials are, they know me. Hi, Alan. How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Alan? Destiny goes, how do you know these people, Dad? I said, I pee a lot.
Yeah. So when I would fight, I would be in the back, and I'd say, hey, this is my father-in-law, take care of him. And so he'll sit right in the front row, right? And then he was like, I gotta go pee. So they were like, hey, somebody will come and grab him, walk him in the back, and you have all people who work at the house. Hey, you okay? Can I get you anything? So my wife's been gone for like maybe not 2 years, but she's been missing a lot of fights. And so when she comes back, she's walking in, he goes, what's up, Bob? Hey, what's up, Reed? Hey, Data, how you doing, baby? This is like, how the fuck do you know all these people, honey? And Daddy goes, oh, I pee a lot, talk to them, hang out with them all the time, and da-da-da-da. She goes, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to come here, watch them fight, and take your ass home, not make friends with all these people. But it's a good time.
I fucking love
And
this.
then we're in Tokyo, and I'm the shopping chaperone. And she gets a bag for, training camp because she has to do everything with the kids. And it's a big, hard job. So we're at Louis Vuitton, and I'm afraid to sit down. And and Destiny couldn't decide between this green bag and was that pink bag or something? That purple or something? Yeah. And she goes, Dad, what do you think? And she's smiling. I said, hell, just get both of them. She goes, I'm going to call DJ and ask him which one I should get. And I said, just get both of them. Shit, he ain't going to say no. He's going to fight in 4 hours.
Yeah. I'll never forget that. What do you think, baby? This is a Japanese exclusive. Which one?
Yeah,
I was like,
that was the clincher.
Yeah.
This is a Japanese
I said,
exclusive.
get the Japanese exclusive, okay? I love you. See you soon. Bye.
My mind's in some place else.
Yeah, it worked out perfect.
I'm about to have to beat a man to the death in like 4 hours. Like, get what makes you happy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You know what we didn't do?
What?
We didn't give him a superpower.
We can do it.
I ate the quail eggs.
Do you know about the offenders?
I do not.
We have a Dollar General store offshoot of the Marvel universe, and we all have superpowers.
Oh, okay.
But the downside is our superpowers have an offset. So you get to pick your superpower. We get to pick the offset.
So Cody, what's your superpower?
All right, as long as DJ is wondering. So I can fly.
Yeah.
Right? But I have to shout racial slurs.
Okay.
While he does it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So and
what's yours?
That's fine. I like you. We're like that's fine.
This is
Like, you fucking
Cody.
It's really, really hard when I go to like low income housing to rescue people.
Cody
It's
just
really
brings the
hard.
ladder. He's like,
He's your crime cuck.
Yeah, so I can travel the speed of light. But then I can't do anything for 5 minutes. So I'm just like, I'm so sorry, ma'am.
He just has to watch.
That's not bad. Oh, so you get there.
That's not bad. I'm like, ha!
Yeah.
Phase through everything.
Yeah.
Man, just hold on for this terrible assault that's going on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I chose Professor Xavier's powers.
So telekinesis?
Well, like mine did the whole 9 yards, but it's only for like the 8 seconds after I nut, so I'm post-nut clarity man.
Clarity man.
So what do you want your superpower to be?
Fuck.
Brandon commits. He's veteran man.
Can I be Daywalker, half vampire, half human, like Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's my offset?
Wait, hold on.
So I get.
No. I got it.
Okay.
You want to be half vampire, half man?
Yep.
You don't crave blood, you crave cum.
Get out of here! Get out of here
right now!
Nope.
You just fiend up. You have all the powers.
Dude, our subreddit is gonna be great. It's gonna be your face over Wesley's sides,
like,
pull it out of pocket. Just
God. Well, the good thing Blade
You're
didn't.
feeding a bad guy. You're like, I can't wait to fucking you up.
I love how your entire superhero offset is you're just Edward Cullen.
Who's that?
The funniest
Twilight
part,
vampire.
Oh, Jesus.
the funniest part about this is Alan definitely has Whistler vibes.
What's your? Oh, Jesus Christ! He does.
He does.
He's white. He's old. Oh, God.
He gets to watch you.
What will your?
That's how you live. It's like, stop it! Stop! You're married.
That's a horrible power.
Welcome to the Offenders.
Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Craves.
That was good. I was like,
the
son of a
OG.
bitch, she does crave blood. It's
like the OG vampire. I want to suck your.
Alan's over there like, you gotta do it, boy. it's how you stay alive.
He's about to die. He's steaming on the floor. He's like,
Demetrious falls into a vat of cum and goes Super Saiyan.
I wish I would have picked goddamn Blade. It's like, damn it. I thought I picked a good one too. I was like, I could fucking run, I could jump.
You can. 100%.
Yeah, I know I can. I'm not such a after I start feeding for some fucking
Tomorrow morning, like we go to range day. He's just like, dude, I got a headache.
Somebody's like, here you go, we'll fix that for you.
The scariest part of all of this is like we're his friends. What happens when we're on the desert shooting guns and he gets the craving? Demetrious, no! I can't stop him! I can't!
He's so good at presenting jiu-jitsu. No! Why is he doing multiple guys? God.
Bringing a whole new meaning to submission.
This was a setup. That's what this was. Fucking setup.
Holy shit, that's peak right there. Oh my God, this is going to be on the internet for a long time.
I'm mad. That can't be the after show. That has to be in the main part.
We're going to definitely put that in the main show.
Dear God.
That's fucking peak comedy right there. Cody, are you ready to close this out? Good stuff.
You want to do it?
Let's do this. First up, Alan, Demetrious, thank you so goddamn much for coming.
Seriously,
you
thank
have been amazing fucking guest. We couldn't have asked for better guests.
I can't wait to watch you fight Brandon.
I'm so excited for
He's
this.
got great hair. I'm not. No, his hair's
Brandon's
great.
1-0. He's a champ in boxing.
That is true.
Hey.
With friends like these, man, I fucking tell you.
Cody, close us out.
Guys, thank you so much for joining the Unsubscribed podcast. I'm joined today by Eli Double Tap, Mr. Fat Electrician, Demetrious Johnson, Brandon Herrera, and Alan.
Thank you so fucking much. Make sure you stay for the after show. We're going to do like 10 minutes with the boys. And then we love you. Kisses.